Tonight on the Black Channel. You know, African immigrants in America have made their name fighting against reparations. And just as I told you all almost a decade ago, the African nations are now all of a sudden coming around, attempting to advocate for reparations, just for themselves, though. Just for themselves. The very same group, from the very same places, that come over here and say, shouldn't be no reparations, are sitting up here now all of a sudden, trying to make their run for individual benefits and individual rewards. And I've got a few things I'm going to say here tonight. I have a few things I want to go into and say here tonight, and it is going to not go in the direction that I think a lot of you might be thinking of. I'm not actually going to go in that direction. So you're going to want to strap in and hang on tight, because there may be a couple of hairpin turns around here. And I'm going to say some things that are going to maybe shock some folks when it comes to this. Now, for those of you who are following me on Twitter, you've already seen that I posted this article. There's an article here from the New York Times. As you can see in the headline, the U.S. rejects the vote to recognize slavery as a crime against humanity. This is the United States has done this. And they were not the only ones. It was also Israel and Argentina. Both said that they are against this. They're voting. They didn't just abstain, because like the European nations, they abstained from it. They were just like, we don't know. They just abstained from it. Oh, but not the U.S., not Israel, and not Argentina. All of them said, we're not going to be quiet. We are against it. I want to go ahead and give you this article here before I give you another one here, because we're going to have a comprehensive breakdown of this. And if you miss it here tonight, you are going to miss a lot. From the New York Times, from Miss Ruth McLean, the United States voted against a United Nations resolution this week to formally recognize the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. Now, I don't like this article already here because you're minimizing Israel and Argentina. Now, other news outlets did not do this, but in the case of the New York Times, they have a very, very bent, against black folk and for Israel. So the New York Times trying to minimize that Israel was hand in hand. And this is actually more heinous of Israel in particular. To vote against reparations, to vote against recognizing slavery as a crime against humanity and the greatest crime ever, for them to be like this right here. This is no, you don't put Israel down here. Other news outlets put Israel up in the headline. The New York Times did not do that. Trying to start talking about the U.S. So that your attention's on the U.S. and also Israel. They didn't abstain while they voted against it. Okay. This is why you have the new black media. So it says the United States voted against a United Nations resolution this week to formally recognize the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity. The resolution, which was led by Ghana, urged UN member states to apologize for the slave trade and to contribute to a reparations fund. Damn! So for those who might have been wondering, Jason's where the reparations part? Right there. They want an apology, which is an admission of guilt. We're talking about setting up the legal framework. They want you to apologize, which is an admission of guilt. Anyone who's worked for a corporation knows the lawyers tell you do not apologize because an apology is interpreted as an admission of guilt and wrongdoing. Say, I'm sorry you're upset. I'm sorry that you're unhappy. Do not say, I'm sorry. Say, I'm sorry you're upset. I'm sorry you're unhappy. When you apologize, that's tantamount to an admission of guilt. So they want an apology. All right, now we have our admission of guilt, and now we want reparations. On Tuesday, before the vote, John Mahama, the president of Ghana, said that American schools were being discouraged from teaching about slavery and racism. He called the resolution, quote, a safeguard against forgetting. Well, here's the issue here, President Mahama. You have not made any significant outreach to us. You have not initiated a right of return. I don't want to hear about no stupid residency. I don't want to hear about no stupid stuff y'all been trying there in Ghana forever. What they give to Jewish people in Israel, if you're not offering that to us, to hell with what the hell you talking about, and we ain't trying to hear it.
And deal with it.
We're not going for the damn con job where you talk like we in this together. Well, you know, in the American schools, because you want us to be the foot soldiers to soften up the American government while you offer nothing of significance. That's what you trying to do. The same old damn smoke and mirrors you all been playing for decades. We sit over here talking about Pan-Africanism. And meanwhile, you do absolutely nothing to bridge the gap. You are the president of a country. You want to talk about what's being in America's schools. What about in Ghana's schools? How do they talk about us in Ghana's schools? How do they speak about us in Ghana's schools, in Ghana's history? How do you speak about us in Ghana's history, sir? And do you even talk about slavery and racism in an honest, proper context? I don't think so. Get a hold of the Ghanaian history books over there and textbooks and see what they're saying. So no, this is supposed to be about getting us. We all in this together here. We gotta let them know that, right? Me and Ghana, we rolling. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we aren't. We're not falling for it. When you start talking to us the way Israel is talking to the Jews around the world, then we got something to speak about. When you make it the law that when our feet touch African soil, we get full faith and credit for our quote unquote Africanness, then we can do some talking. Until then, get the hell on with this jive talk. They go on to say here, policy groups, human rights organizations, and academics, them damned academics, have accused President Trump of minimizing black history in the United States. Well, okay, the Democrats been doing it too, so there's no change. They're all in it together. He has accused the Smithsonian Institution of focusing too much on, quote, how bad slavery was and not enough on the brightness. He has signed executive orders on education that call for the end of radical indoctrination in K through 12 schooling and criticized the teaching of subjects such as white privilege. The African Union has declared 2026 to 2035 the decade of action on reparations. Brothers and sisters, we've been talking about reparations now here on the Black Channel going on 2 decades. We've been talking about it now for decades. The last 10 years in particular, since Barack Obama left office, we've been foot to the floor. Matter of fact, right before he left office, we were foot to the floor. We started marching super heavy on this as soon as he was starting to leave office. And these were the very folk telling us, sit down and shut up and y'all don't need no reparations. Their folk getting off the plane over here only had 2 things to say. We're the white women and y'all Negroes don't need no reparations. Now that they see that we have made headway and we have made it a mainstream issue, it's no longer a back burner issue. It's no longer underground. Now that that's the case, well, what do you know? The usual suspects have jumped up. The usual suspects have jumped up here. And now all of a sudden, now here they are telling us about what they expect now. Where the hell have they been for the last 2 decades? They weren't backing any reparations movement. We've been the vanguard of it. We've been the vanguard of this. Where the hell have they been for the last 2 damn decades? Oh, they were defending white supremacy and saying that we don't need no reparations. Remember? We've been right here. Where the hell they been for 2 decades? Because all I seen is us. Where have they been all this time? You know where they've been. They've been undermining us. You know exactly where they've been. So they say that the African Union has declared 2026 through 2035 the decade of action on reparations. And Ghana, which has among the most slave forts and castles in the world, is leading the charge. Keep this sentence in mind, that Ghana is among the most slave forts and castles in the world. Keep that in mind. We are going to revisit this in just a few moments. Many slave ships departed from the Ghanaian coast during the transatlantic slave trade. Ghana has encouraged people with African ancestry to seek citizenship in the country. Lie.
Lie.
That's a lie. That is a lie. That is false and untrue. This is a lie. The right to abode. That is a lie. Remember, I was the first person that debunked this going on 15 years ago when folk tried to talk about they want us back over there. Why, Ghana is giving citizenship. And then I showed them the damn paperwork. I said, this does not say citizenship. It says right to abode. And then it's got a bunch of onerous hoops and hurdles you have to get through, which are really just setting you up to have to pay a bunch of people off. You have to get a bunch of folk over there to vouch for you. It's not enough to just prove you got African ancestry or even Ghanaian ancestry. No, you got to get a bunch of folk over there to say, oh yeah, I sign off that you should bring him over here, and then you got to pay the state and all this stuff. No, this is another damn scam job where you sit up here and throw money in their pockets to get a right to abode. That ain't Israel. In Israel, they say, come on over here. We're going to give you a house. We're going to put some paper in your pocket. We're going to see if you need a car or whatnot. Welcome to Israel. Welcome home. You don't have to ask what you're going to do for Israel. Israel's here to ask what you need us to do for you. So do not sit up here and let these folks continue lying. Oh, I'm sorry, they can't lie anymore because we debunked this years ago. Oh, well. A 2019 initiative invited those of African descent to live and work in Ghana, which means bring your money, as part of a right to return campaign. Now, you notice this woman who wrote this article, you notice that she is not putting quotations on this. Did you notice that? She's not quoting it. Reporting from Dakar, Senegal, looks like a white woman here. Notice that she is not quoting. She didn't put quotations on that. Did you notice that? I'm pointing this out to you to say, by the way, notice she did not put quotations around right to return. That means these are her words. Because that's what I told y'all. It's called right to abode, and it isn't a right. Meant to connect people in the African diaspora to their ancestral roots while they're putting up walls around the ancestral roots. Quote, the trafficking of enslaved Africans and the centuries of radicalized chattel enslavement that followed have not been resolved, Ghana's foreign minister Samuel Okedezu Ablakwa wrote before the vote. He has said that reparations should be given to, quote, all people of African descent.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, here they come. Well, here comes the grift, y'all. The folks have been fighting it all this time. Here they come. You know, we need reparations for everybody. All of us. You niggas, You niggas need to work harder here. You niggas need to work harder, and we need reparations. Now that you have done all the footwork and all the heavy lifting, now that after we tried to stop you, now that you have done all of the heavy work and all of the heavy lifting, we now say everyone should get reparations. We all should get reparations. I, as the president and prince for life of Zamunda, am calling for reparations for all people of African descent. Even if you're still on the African continent? Why, yes, of course. Of course we should. What is the problem with these niggas in America? What is the problem with these niggas? I cannot get jiggy with these. What is wrong with them? Do you not see I am royalty? Okay. He said the reparations should be given to all people of African descent and that the descendants of slaves should be given money to set up businesses and funds for education. Well, that's great, just not the all people of African descent part. The descendants of slaves, yeah, not the descendants of Africans. This is not about are you an African descendant? Are you a descendant of slavery in America? Well, you know, there were other nations that had slavery as well. I'm like, okay, well, go call them out right there, but leave the American part out of it. Dan Negra. What? Okay, Dan Negra, a U.S. representative to the UN's Economic and Social Council, called the UN resolution, quote, highly problematic on Wednesday and objected to its, quote, attempt to rank crimes against humanity in any type of hierarchy. Mr. Negra also accused the sponsors of questioning President Trump's support for black voters in the United States. They're not the ones questioning it. We over here are. So, quote, President Trump has done more for black Americans than any other president.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
You smoke crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't you smoke crack?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know what that does to you?
It makes you go to the UN and say crazy stuff. That's what it does to you. It makes you do stuff like this. I don't know who is more ridiculous in this article, y'all. I don't know who is more ridiculous here. I don't know who's more outrageous. This is just a damn clown show here. It really, really is. He's working tirelessly to deliver for them. The same Trump who's bringing over Afrikaners. That's what he's delivering for us. So, like I said, you have a psychotic administration at this point. And look here, folks, buried at the very bottom of the article, buried at the very bottom of this article. This is shameful of the New York Times. Y'all heard everything I just read. At the very end of the article, the United States, Israel, and Argentina were the only nations to vote against the resolution which was adopted. So they are running interference for the state of Israel here at our expense to try to make it look like Donald Trump's the only one against this. Why did they not quote Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government? Why are they only quoting Trump? Why are they not quoting Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government? Why are they giving them a pass and not saying, hey, we need to get a comment from them? Why did they not do that? Why don't they get Benjamin Netanyahu's government to explain why it is that first he did not want to recognize Ethiopian Jews as Jews, and now he's fighting reparations? Why are they not doing that? Because the New York Times is, of course, owned by, well, you get it. All right. Owned by the bad guys. So it's the bad guys run it. And then, of course, Argentina. So all you passport bros, I'm like, okay, all right. Go ahead and try your best shot at that. So yes, indeed, brothers and sisters from around the world, they are doing their best here. They are doing the most. And they are, after all these years of openly opposing us on television, on Twitter, on social media, wherever you want to name it, after all these years of opposing us, now out of nowhere, here they come jumping up, and they are now telling you that they want to get reparations. We are here the whole time, niggas. We were here with you the whole time. We have supported this for the whole time. No, do not believe that new black media. We have been behind this the whole time. We were here the whole time. You have not been looking hard enough. You are not looking hard enough. We have always supported reparations. You mean even when you were voting against it? You mean even when the immigrants were over here talking against it, you were supporting it then too? Trivialities. This is small fries. This is small fries. This is Burger King small fries. We all need to come together now. You mean now that the Chinese have gypped y'all's dumbasses on their Beltway initiative and got all of y'all in hock and debt, they told you that you were going to make out good. Now they own half your damn countries. They own the freeways, the railway lines. They're taking over the mines. You mean now that you've done that, you're looking to see is there another pot of gold somewhere that you can go dump your big bloated grubby little fingers in? Is that, because I think it's more that's what's going on. I think that's more like what's actually happening. I don't think there's other stuff you talking about this was real. I think there's more to it than that. I think it's more to it than that. I think that y'all are looking for a place where you can go ahead and sprinkle down and chop it up a little bit better, because some of that easy money, you went there with the Chinese, and because corruption is the culture, you come from backstabbing cultures. And in reality, you've backstabbed each other over there and whatnot. And the Chinese are like, well, hell, let me hand you a whole new knife. Let me hand you a whole new knife here. Oh, man. So these folks are sitting up here talking, man, and they're trying to put things together. Now, I would be remiss if I did not give you another viewpoint on this. So this one is from the BBC. I want to go over this story here with you from Wadeli Chebelushi and Thomas Naidi. Okay, I don't think these are the white women at the New York Times. I don't think that's them. The United Nations General Assembly has voted to recognize the enslavement of Africans during the transatlantic slave trade as, quote, the gravest crime against humanity, a move advocates hope paved the way for healing and justice. Well, these are from the Truth and Reconciliation Africans. We just want truth and reconciliation. The white Afrikaners, they can live next door to us. They are good people. We move beyond that. We are forgiving people. They told us shut up and get over it. Now we're like, you know what? Why don't y'all tell these white folks that y'all gonna shut up and get over it? Oh no! Cut the check, nigga! Cut the check! Cut the check! The resolution proposed by Ghana called for this designation while also urging UN member states to consider apologizing for the slave trade and contributing to a reparations fund. It does not mention a specific amount of money. The proposal was adopted with 123 votes in favor and 3 against. The United States, Israel, and Argentina. 52 countries abstained, including the United Kingdom and European Union member states. 52 countries abstained. The United Kingdom and the European Union. Did you all notice that the New York Times article didn't say any of this? Did you all notice the New York Times article left these parts out? Now, I mentioned it to you before I even got started, but by the way, they didn't even mention about places that abstained. So the United States, Israel, and Argentina, they didn't just not abstain. They got up and said, oh, we're against it. The other folk in Europe simply sat quiet. The United States said, oh no, white supremacy forever. And Israel said, I'll second that. Israel said, I will second that. Because, of course, if we go down names of who was participating in the slave trade, it wasn't just the Anglos. It was not just the Anglos or just the Protestants. And I suspect there's a bunch of folk there that, since they're making claims that they should be entitled to land because of something in the Bible from 3,000 years ago, well, then certainly you will be liable for something that happened 100 years ago, 150 years ago. You'll be liable for that today. So I think I see some people getting nervous right now. If you want to claim that that's your basis for taking land in the Middle East, it sounds like you going to be owing a whole lot more. After all, in Nazi Germany, you all went through families and names and tracked people down. Well, that can be done here very easily. As a matter of fact, it already has been. Countries like the UK have long recorded that when countries like the UK have long rejected calls to pay reparations, saying today's institutions cannot be held responsible for past wrongs. Here's the issue, folks. You're the same institution. This is the same British government, the same British Empire, the same American Empire. We are not talking about the 13 colonies. We are talking about the current United States, not ancient Rome, not Caesar's Rome, not King Louis XIV. We are talking about the current United Kingdom and United States governments, the current ones, operating under Magna Carta and the United States Constitution. Those are still in effect. Those governments are still in existence. And now here's the legal framework, everyone. I need you to listen to what I'm going to say to you tonight. Here is the legal framework so that you all understand exactly how this works. So when somebody questions you about this, you don't have to grope for an answer. People, you as a United States citizen are responsible for the debts of the United States. What? You are a United States citizen, and yet even though you weren't even born when the United States government began racking up these debts, you are responsible and liable to pay it, and you never got a choice. You never got a vote. That is incumbent on you simply as a condition of being born here. You're required to be responsible for that debt just because you were born. And you had no choice in where you were born. Now, they will gleefully and happily tell you that you have to pay taxes and you have to contribute and pay the debt and pay into Social Security and Medicaid, even though you're not responsible for any of that. You're not responsible for that. You weren't even born when they started racking that debt up. And yet they're telling you, here's your bill on account of the fact, well, you were born here. Now we got governments that made choices telling you, oh, you can't pass that bill on to us today. The folk before I got here made these particular decisions. Okay, so the United States, now here's the thing, folks. When the United States goes around the world, do they talk about the Trump administration or do they talk about the full faith and credit of the United States? Marco Rubio went and spoke in front of the UN, or European Union, about America as a centuries-long institution. So we are going to hold you to that. You don't get to say America is a centuries-old institution and it should be given all of its credibility based on the centuries it's been here. And then when we show up and say, you know, there's an unpaid debt that you racked up during these centuries. Oh, wait a minute now. We ain't going back that far. We can't be responsible for that. Okay, so you want the benefits of these centuries of your existence. You want to bandy around in front of people how long you've been in existence when it's time for the benefits. But when it's time for the bill, now all of a sudden, wait a minute now, centuries, we don't get to count centuries now. We only counting today. We only counting what we did today. So, folks, if you want to know how to debunk this garbage right there, that is how you debunk it. These nation states are still in existence, and just they, as citizens, they tell you that you are responsible for the historical actions of the nation state. Well, yes, we're going to hold you to that. You are responsible for this, and you still got something that got to be paid. And on account of the fact that your nation state is still in existence. There's a reason that they don't explain these things to people. Because when I explain it to you like that, not just me saying, well, the nation states are still here, but me reminding you, you do realize you're paying debts for America that were racked up before you were even born. And they're telling you, you got to pay this because we need to make good on these debts. Well, why don't you get to say, well, I can't be held responsible for them bull jive ass agreements you made and them debts you ran up. That's on you. You can't hold that. You can't hand that to me and say, here's my bill. You go try that and see what happens at the IRS. They tell you, here's your bill. And then they say, we don't want to talk about it. We don't even want to talk to you about it. Pay this damn bill or go to jail. I'm like, okay, well, pay your bill, cut this check, or go to jail. Now, it goes on to say here that unlike UN Security Council resolutions, those from the General Assembly are not legally binding, although they carry the weight of global opinion. Quote, let it be recorded that when history beckoned, we did what was right for the memory of the millions who suffered the indignity of the slave trade and those who continue to suffer racial discrimination. Ghana's President John Mahama told the assembly ahead of the vote. Now, this is where we are not fighting over racial discrimination. We are talking about a lineage. Here's where they try to shoehorn themselves in. We do the work. We do the legwork. We get the ball moving, even though they were fighting us. Once we get it moving, here they come. These guys, we knew you was good people here. Well, now we are all in this together. And we're like, you better get the hell on, Jack. The adoption of this resolution serves as a safeguard against forgetting. It also challenges the enduring scars of slavery, he said. Earlier, his foreign minister told the BBC's Newsday program, quote, we are demanding compensation. And let us be clear, African leaders are not asking for money for themselves. Now, I'll be damned, folks. We want justice for the victims and causes to be supported, educational and endowment funds, skills training funds.
Nigga, what?
I need you all to understand something here. Now, when they roll up, ain't nobody talking about we want a scholarship. They talking about break some bread. We want money for education, money in an endowment. That means a trust. Money for skills training. Justice for the victims. We want money. So they're not starting the conversation saying, well, we can take some Bitcoin. We'll take some Bitcoin and some scholarships. You notice they're not saying that. Nobody's talking about Bitcoin and scholarships. Everybody rolling up talking about dollars. I wonder who it was who made it in vogue to say that our issue is economic and we counting it in dollars. Because before we started saying cut the check, people were afraid to say cash payments. Before we made it popular to say cut the check. Now people can say it with their full chest, but I don't remember Mr. Ablakwa or Mr. Mahama back a decade ago when we started talking about cut the check. I don't remember seeing none of these niggas. Where was they at? Where was your mans? Says here that the campaign for reparations has gained significant momentum in recent years. You think?
And deal with it, nigga.
You think it has, BBC. No thanks to you. No thanks to the African Union. No thanks to Ghana. No thanks to the Caribbean. So this next sentence is just an insult. Yeah, it has gained momentum despite the very people speaking in this article fighting against it. Yeah, we gained momentum despite you all in this article who were fighting against it. Yeah, we gained momentum despite you. Because you were in the way and you were fighting it. Reparatory justice was the African Union's official theme for 2025. This sounds like these hamhead niggas with the Essence Festival. And Commonwealth leaders have jointly called for dialogue on the matter. Okay, we'll call the white folk and see if they'll dialogue with you. Ablakwa also said that with the resolution, Ghana was not ranking its pain above anyone else's, but simply documenting a historical fact. Let me explain something right here. I don't give a damn who calls to count this pain or this, that, and the other. This is the greatest crime in human history, and we are the greatest victims of it, period, point blank, in the discussion. Between 1500 and 1800, around 12 to 15 million people were captured in Africa and taken to the Americas, where they were forced to work as slaves. It is estimated that over 2 million people died on the journey. The resolution, backed by the African Union and the Caribbean community, the resolution backed by the African Union and the Caribbean community.
Damn! What? Damn! What?
Notice I didn't stop with the New York Times, the so-called newspaper of record, the so-called gray old lady of news in America. Notice the New York Times didn't say any of this. Do you all realize how many details that the BBC included and for a nation that abstained from the vote, the New York Times, which many people think is still run by the CIA, the New York Times always had CIA people there guiding what they did, and there are many folk who think the CIA is still very much there. In any case, do you all see all the details that the BBC put in here that the New York Times didn't say a word about? That's why I wanted to give you those two perspectives, one from America, one from the UK, one from the US, one from the UK, and take a look at all these pertinent details dovetailing off of everything that we've been saying the whole time that the New York Times left out. Now, how is it the BBC knew and the New York Times didn't? Of course the New York Times knew. Of course they did. They're trying to make it, well, Trump's the enemy. No. You're the enemy. New York Times, you're the enemy. As you've always been. The resolution, backed by the African Union and the Caribbean community, states that the consequences of slavery persist in the form. Now that you Akatas got the ball rolling, oh, you all were able to overcome us fighting you. You beat us when we were fighting you to stop this from moving. Well, since you got the ball rolling, let me bring my plate to the table. Notice they haven't said a word about descendants of American slaves, and they hadn't said a word about that, just African, everything. Y'all notice they center themselves in the discussion. Did you notice that? They're centering themselves in this discussion. It ain't about everybody. It's about Africans. Notice how often they keep saying African. I'm doing my job to emphasize these key points so that you all do. You notice what they're not saying? They ain't talking about you, but they damn sure are pulling up the rear, and all of a sudden they can talk about being African and what Africans need, what Africans need to get. While they spent the last 40 years telling you about what we weren't supposed to get. The very same people talking about what we wasn't supposed to get. Now all of a sudden, well, they can sure tell you what Africans supposed to get. All the stuff that they told you that we wasn't supposed to get. You know we supposed to have these niggas. This is the problem with you niggas. Ablakwa told the BBC, many generations continue to suffer the exclusion, the racism because of the transatlantic slave trade, which has left millions separated from the continent and impoverished. Yeah, this is what they own. This is what they're on, and this is what they're doing. Yeah. You think you're going to get friends out of them? You think you're going to get friends out of them? Says here that ahead of the vote, speaker after speaker expressed similar views. The UK, one of the major powers involved in the transatlantic slave trade, said it recognized the untold harm and misery that had been caused to millions of people over many decades. But its ambassador to the UN, James Kariuki, told the assembly in his speech that the resolution was problematic in terms of its wording and international law. Quote, no single set of atrocities should be regarded as more or less significant than another, he said. Now, folks, here's where I will tell you all that I don't give a damn about semantics. I'll tell you all right now, in this instance, I don't care about semantics, whether you want to call it the greatest or one of the greatest, just so long as you cut the greatest check.
And deal with it, nigga.
So you can call it the biggest, you can call it the smallest, just so long as that check is the biggest. So you can call it whatever you want to. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but just so long as that check is the biggest. Because that's what it needs to be. It needs to be that. I want y'all to understand I am still on the same thing I always been on. I'm on the same thing I always been on. By the way, one of my mods was saying that it might have been breaking up some. I should be good here now, but regardless of it, YouTube can hate. We're going to keep rolling. The U.S. ambassadors to the UN made similar points during his speech, saying that his country, the U.S., quote, does not recognize a legal right to reparations for historical wrongs that were not illegal under international law at the time they occurred.
Alrighty then.
This is who you are dealing with. The next time that somebody tries to tell you that this nation is not every bit as monstrous and evil as it has always been, they are not, I've told you all forever, they are not denying the crimes of slavery, the bestiality, the monstrousness of it. They're not denying it. They're proud of it. Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and Sean Hannity, they are proud of America's brutality. They're proud of its bestiality. As far as they're concerned, that's what makes America great. Now, let us be clear. Slavery has been a crime against mankind since, I don't know, Moses took the children of Israel out of Egypt and before. It does not, saying that it does not recognize a legal right to reparations for historical wrongs that were not illegal under international law at the time they occurred. Okay, so what are you trying to say here? That America is subject to international law since the day it was established? Now, what are you going to say here? Because you can't have a moving goalpost. If you're going to say that you are liable for what was illegal at the time you committed the crime, well, then Nazi Germany can't be held for anything because, I mean, well, it wasn't illegal before they was doing it. It wasn't illegal until they got to doing it. Right until then, it was cool. So if you're going to say that the mile marker is, well, what was illegal? International law determines what was illegal at the time, because by that standard, the United States would be illegal, wouldn't it? After all, you were in open rebellion against the crown. So isn't your existence wasn't it illegal under international law? And do we want to talk about the crimes that America committed that violated international law since it began? So are you saying that we just need to invoke those? Or are you going to say, well, international law, whatever it is today that is to our advantage, that's the one we recognize? So which is it? You are liable for what international law was back then, or you are accountable for what international law became. And furthermore, this is not a true statement. This is not a true statement. This is not about what international law said, people. So don't let these lying white supremacists get you in that trick bag. This isn't about what international law said. This is an injury case. This is an injury case. I need y'all to understand that. This is an injury case. You owe us for the injuries here. So you see, this isn't about what international law says. International law is irrelevant there. International law is irrelevant. We're talking about something different. You see, this is why they're getting upset, y'all. They're like, I'll be damned. You covered your bases here. There's a reason why they're going to have to come up with a whole new group of lies. And the good part about this is it's giving us all a precursor of what the United States government intends to say. The United States government ultimately intends to say, we shouldn't have to pay reparations because, well, slavery was legal while we were doing it to you. I mean, even though we fought a civil war, and if at the time you fought that civil war, that was no longer legal, remember? So under domestic law, it couldn't have been legal. But it gives you a preview of what their argument will be. They're not going to back away from slavery. They're not going to say that slavery indicts them. They're going to say that slavery protects them. Well, slavery was legal when we were doing it. So we're not liable because, well, slavery was bad, but it was legal. What about when it became illegal? We ain't counting that. Just like in in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the bombing of the Black Wall Street. Well, yeah, she might still be alive. We're just going to keep stalling until you ain't. Oh, well, what do you know? We don't know nothing. In addition, Dan Negre said that the U.S. objected to the, quote, cynical usage of historical wrongs as a leverage point to reallocate modern resources to people and nations who are distantly related to the historical victims. Well, the United States is not distantly related, and those of us sitting here are not distantly related. You have already debunked that after you refused to pay reparations to the victims of the Black Wall Street bombings in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So since you have shown that you are not acting in good faith, everything else goes off the table. Now we don't have to even argue this anymore because you are not legitimate. You are not legitimate negotiators here, so we don't even have to argue that with you anymore. See how that goes, folks? Ghana, one of the main gateways for the transatlantic slave trade. Notice how these articles keep bringing that up, by the way. Did you all notice that these articles keep bringing up, by the way, Ghana show was moving a lot of weight. Forts where tens of thousands of enslaved Africans were once held under inhuman conditions remain standing along the West African country's coast. As well as the legal problems around reparations, the U.S. ambassador and said the resolution was unclear as, quote, to whom the recipients of reparatory justice would be. Now they're claiming they're confused. Negre also responded to Mahama's earlier criticism of Donald Trump's administration for normalizing the erasure of black history. Since returning to power, the U.S. president has targeted American cultural and historical institutions for promoting what he calls anti-American ideology. So historical facts are anti-American? Okay. It sounds like the anti-Semitic thing now. I'm reading American history. That's anti-American. It's American history. That's anti-American. Except the flattering parts. The flattering parts are American, but the atrocious parts, that's anti-American. You can read the flattering parts. Leave out those unflattering parts there. Don't read those. Trump's orders have led to moves such as the restoration of Confederate statues in an attempt to dismantle a slavery exhibit in Philadelphia. Quote, these policies are becoming a template for other governments as well as some private institutions, Mahama said on Tuesday. But Negre said President Trump has done more for black Americans than any other president. So, like I say here, folks, at this point, the jokes write themselves. The jokes write themselves at this point. It is ridiculous. It is atrocious. I would say they're just a joke, but a joke is supposed to be funny. And this is anything and everything except funny. What it does do, though, is it exposes a lot of people in a lot of ways. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get to that now. Let's go ahead and talk about some things. And I told you all some folks are going to be unhappy with some of the things I say here tonight, but damn ya. Ghana, I'm so glad that you and some of these other African nations have decided that we should discuss reparations, because you do understand that at some point you're going to get presented with your bill too, right?
Damn! What? Damn!
Oh yeah, one more, while we're on this subject of reparations and who owes what, just thought you all should know that all of you who still have the evidence of your crimes sitting on the coasts of your countries, so glad that you have decided to legitimize this after all these centuries, because you do understand that you gonna get your bill too, right? On account of the fact that we can see the evidence of your crimes still sitting right there on your coast. The smoking guns are still sitting there from what you did. Because you see, we can start running down some names. We can start running down some names and checking some lineages. So while you're busy pointing the fingers at the Europeans and making an ass of yourself thinking you're pointing the finger at the American government like you do something, for those of you who were aiding and abetting, for those of you who were collaborators, you do understand that at the end of this conversation, you gonna get served. In case nobody told you, you still gonna get served. So we're so glad to hear that you approve of rounding up everyone for their historical crimes in commission of the transatlantic slave trade, because understand, there were folk who were helping the Europeans. There were folk who were helping the Europeans. Now, because the Europeans, like any heist movie, they decided that the black folk helping them pull off the heist, we gonna go ahead and cut you off. Now, all of a sudden, you want to swear up and down that you got done wrong. You were committing the heist along with the rest of them, but when they cut you out, all of a sudden, wait a minute now, this is wrong here. And let's also be clear on something else. To my brothers and sisters around the world here, I want to say this to everybody, particularly addressing those of you in the so-called diaspora here on American soil. I need y'all to understand something here. I want you to know how bad this goes. If you see movies like Conan the Barbarian, if you see movies like John Wick, if you see movies like, I don't know, just name whatever it is you want it to be there, I need y'all to understand something. They left us for dead.
Damn!
They weren't supposed to hear from us again. They thought we were all going to be dead. They thought we were all going to be exterminated over here. I need you to understand that. They thought we were going to get exterminated over here. We were all supposed to die over here. When they sent you off on them boats, that was supposed to be the last time you ever got heard of. What'd he say? What's Stephen say in Django Unchained? And this will be the story of you. It's all over for you, Jack. Why, that was supposed to be a wrap. They were never supposed to hear from us again. All of us were supposed to get wiped out. They were giving us to the Europeans, and the Europeans let them know, oh, we ain't going to be doing nothing nice with them over there. When we get them over there, it ain't going to be nothing nice. They going to die on the ships. They going to die on the plantations. We're sending them off to the sugarcane fields. Don't y'all see we have to keep coming and getting more slaves because they keep dying all the time? Folks, we have antibiotics and malaria medications and things like that. I need y'all to understand the sugarcane fields, man, that was deadly work. The cotton fields, that was deadly work back when you didn't have medications to save you from these things. That was dirty and most of all deadly work. There was a reason the white folk wasn't doing it. People were dying by the boatloads out, by the truckload out there. There was a reason they had to keep going back and getting folk. Going to those fields was a death sentence. And they knew it. Everywhere they sent, the Europeans let them know, hey, we need as many as y'all can get. On account of the fact that they don't last very long. So load up the boat. We buying them deep and stacking them cheap. Buying them cheap and stacking them deep. Whichever, get your ass on this boat. Half of you ain't gonna make the trip over there because we bring our own diseases, you know, smallpox and stuff, and we don't believe in washing our hands, our ass, or nothing else, so you gon' get sick on this boat. And those of you who survive the boat, only half of you gonna survive the fields when you get there. No, they thought we were gonna be dead. And that was their goal. Don't believe me? Take a look at the so-called Native Americans in America today. If you don't believe that that was a campaign of annihilation and extermination, then take a look at the Native Americans of today. There used to be enough of Native Americans in America today. I'm not just counting from the foundational. There used to be enough of them to put up a fight against the Europeans when they came across this land. How many do you have today? There's so few of them that the government doesn't mind giving them a check every month because there's so few of them left. If you don't believe that they were practicing annihilation, and these Africans who sent black folk over here, that's what they thought was gonna happen to us too. Well, don't worry, them Europeans gonna take care of the rest. You're gonna get disease, you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get worked to death, and then when they're done, they're gonna kill the rest of you. And that was the plan all along. That we were going to be shipped over here and left for dead. And that when they come back, there might be 5 or 6 of you left. when they come back in 100 years, they'll send millions over. There might be 100,000 of you left. But for the most part, it's a one-way trip for you. And then they got over here and realized, I'll be damned. Hey, y'all, I'm getting letters from back over there in America. Hey, them niggas ain't dead. They're not? No. They're not dead. And surely there's fewer of them. I mean, yeah, it's been going up and down, but yeah, man, they done got bigger and stronger. And I mean, they're dominating. They've created their own culture over there, separate and apart from us. They're just completely divorced. Oh, yeah, yeah, man, they've gotten creative and innovative. And I mean, matter of fact, they're making the culture over there now. You bull-jiving. No. Come on over, Chief Bootalazy. You can take a look at it right quick. Yeah, man, they made ragtime and jazz, and they got a Black Wall Street. A Black Wall Street, yeah. Actually, they got a bunch of them. Yeah, they got a bunch of Black Wall Streets. We ain't got a Black Circle K over here in Ghana.
Damn!
They got a whole Black Wall Street. What the hell is this? What is this? We ain't got a Black 7-Eleven over here in Kenya. They got a whole Black Wall Streets. What happened to the Left for Dead part? Something went wrong. Clearly something went wrong. Clearly something went wrong. So I want to put that in its proper perspective. Most of all, first, I want y'all to recognize here that there's a lot of villains in the room. There are a number of villains in the room when you talk about this subject. There's a number of villains in the room. And some of the folks standing at that podium talking, these are some of the villains too. Hoping that they can paper over their crimes. And they're like, hey, big head, you ain't still mad about that little thing, is you? I mean, y'all doing all right for yourselves over here now. You know, we need to let bygones be bygones, man. Y'all doing good over here now, ain't you? I mean, look at you. You done got all big and strong. You're in the NFL and the NBA. You done did good for yourselves. Yeah, man. Hey, brother, can I get $20? It's rough over here in Ethiopia right now. Yeah, we ain't been doing too good. Y'all got Black Wall Streets. We damn near ain't got a dirt road. Hey, brother, can I get about $50? I know y'all ain't still mad about that, Gate of no hope, gate of no return, door of no return. I hope you ain't still mad about that, is you? Yeah, they own that now. Now, so you ain't still mad about that, is you? Man, that was so long ago. Okay, then why are you at the UN telling the white folk about what happened so long ago? So I started off this program letting y'all know this ain't going to go the way they tell themselves. So you'll notice I kept pointing out to you all what they were saying. And by the way, Ghana got a lot of damn relics over here. And I'm like, yeah, just hold that energy. We're going to return to this before I'm finished with my monologue tonight. We're going to address that. Because Ghana ain't the only one. Now, I want to go a little bit further with this right now. I want to go a little bit further because as you all know, folks, a lot of folks ain't going to like this next part because they think they're going to weasel their way out of it and they really won't. You see, what a number of them might do is they might try to use this argument. Oh, I'm way ahead of you. A number of them might try to use the argument, well, you see, those nations that you are talking about, niggas, that is not us, that was not us, that was them back then. It is gone without a trace. It is gone without a trace. We do not know what it is. Can you cut the check? We do not know. We are not connected to that. But that's not a true statement either. Now, is it? That's not a true statement either. You see, you can say that Nigeria is a European constructed nation. You can say those words. You can say those words, and you definitely can, and you would be right. But you see, that's not the basis on which the inhabitants of Nigeria operate. Now, is it? As a matter of fact, they know their lineage very well, don't they? As a matter of fact, they're still beefing and fighting with each other today over it. The Igbo and the Yoruba and the Husafalani and the Delta, why, they'll be very quick to remind you of their tribe and their rich history and their culture. I'm so glad you reminded us about your culture, because we're here to remind you about your culture. And some of the parts that you keep conveniently leaving out over and over again, well, we're just going to go ahead and hammer on that for a while, since you seem to want to get away from it. By the way, yes, you all keep doing that. Same thing in Ethiopia. Same thing in Kenya. You know, you can talk about Haile Selassie and whatnot. That's great. That's grand. That's wonderful. Jomo Kenyatta. You can talk about all that you want to there. Why, we are Zaire? No. Okay. We are the Congo? Okay. We are Zimbabwe? All right. I get that. Yeah, but you notice y'all keep doing that? We are Sierra Leone. Yeah, we keep reclaiming our original names. Oh, so you are the connective tissue to 160 years ago. Oh, so you are very well aware of who you were and who you've been. I'm so glad to hear that you have reconstituted yourselves. Very glad to hear that. Oh, so you didn't disappear. So your nation states are not gone. I mean, you've had a pretty good joyride whoring yourselves to the French and the Belgians. You had a grand old time whoring yourselves to them. But, yeah, you do remember your status. Why, you are still there, as a matter of fact. You're still there. Oh, okay. I'm so glad we clarified that. Not only that you are even reestablishing yourselves. Well, I certainly wouldn't want to get in the way of that. And you're reestablishing yourselves on what terms? Why, you're reestablishing yourselves on the terms that you predate the European colonizers. So what you are saying is that we are the people who are in charge here before the European colonizers. Well, thank you for making this so much easier to identify you. So glad you did that, because this clears a lot up. Clears a lot up. I want to remind you all of that too. I want to remind you all of that too. If you all agree with what you heard here tonight, give me the black fist emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 4,000 people in here live tonight. But if you agree with every word you have heard here tonight, give me the black fist emoji and hit the likes button for me. You see, I'm not here to make friends. Not here to make friends. I am here to jar your memories. I'm here to clarify and articulate this for you so that when this subject comes up, you've already got the intellectual ammunition you need to be able to debunk any lie that you are told and put it in its proper perspective. When you talk about delineation, you can't talk about delineation if you don't know what it is you're delineating from. And you've got to have a firm ideology. Otherwise, some of these slick talking overseas charlatans are going to be able to sweet talk you right back into bed with them. I want to say this in no uncertain terms here. For those of you who have spent the better part of the last century and a half denying, collaborating, working along together with them, and the single worst crime of all, when you had your opportunity to practice Pan-Africanism, you flatly refused because you were afraid that when we came on African soil that we were going to turn up and take over, which is exactly what you needed because you are backwards and wrong. You're beaten and defeated, and now you're begging all over the place. You got fortunes and don't know what to do with it. You've got leaders and you all have become comfortable, and not just comfortable, you have become desirous of your corrupted chieftains. You haven't changed. So in a world where you're sitting on a continent that allegedly has the most mineral wealth in the world, and yet you can't get any of it, because of these cultural character flaws. And it goes right down to the soil and the people. They are gloriously corrupt. They see themselves and their fellow man as something to be exploited. And they know that when we show up, that's going to come to an immediate stop. And that's the reason they fought us every step of the way, because we're not going to keep continuing their ass backward culture of the last 1,000 years. We show up and it's going to be cleaning house. We show up and it's going to be paperwork check. You're not going to be able to pull that Christian hustle. They know full well when we show up, it's going down, and that's what it's going to be. We didn't bring you no white asses to kiss. They like this bull jive at the UN because there's some white asses they can smooch on. We ain't bringing no white asses to kiss. We ain't bringing a boatload of white women. We're not going to help you integrate into American society. We're going to do what we did over here and build our own, which they are incapable of doing. Because they are still married to the concept of treason against each other and allegiance to the white supremacists who will dominate you. They get a thrill out of white supremacists practicing white supremacy against them. And that's what they hold against us, is that we ain't gonna sit there and shuck and jive with them. They sit up here and start cooning and buffooning and buck dancing in the middle of damn me restaurants and bedwenching for zaddy, and they think that bull jive is cute. Oh, look at the white women laughing. They think I'm so funny. They're so amused. Isn't that so great? Then they take a look at us. What's wrong with you niggas? You are too stiff-legged over here. What is wrong with you? We are just having a good time. You take yourself too seriously. That's the damn point. White supremacy ain't no damn joke to us. You're damn right we take it serious. White supremacy is not a joke to us. It's not entertainment to us. We ain't looking to sit up here and laugh and bull jive with them. This ain't no game and it ain't no joke to us. And that's why they've been scared of us all this damn time. Because they know as soon as we come round the block, it's going to be straight business. Especially in a place where we no longer have to fight a white government that keeps sowing coons and traitors and backstabbers, a white economy that fully funds and fully pays for the Candace Owenses and the Emmanuel Achos and the Jason Whitlocks, a white economy that will fund that. Well, you know, if they were completely out of the way, we would go ahead and get that damn thing built the way we want to. You see, we have black cities in a white nation. There's the stumbling block. There's only so much you can get done when you've got black cities that have to operate within a white nation. If you had a black community in a black nation, oh well, ain't nobody between us and the damn coons, but nobody. Oh, it's like I'll be damned. Now we can do ya how we really want to do ya. We ain't got to bull jive around no more, play around no more, pussyfoot around no more. Nigga, we can just pull up. You get off code and ain't no Fox News or Tucker Carlson to run interference no damn mo. Now we can just do ya how we gon' do ya. And we get to write the newspaper articles about how it's going down.
And deal with it, nigga.
I'll be damned. Ain't no LAPD, National Guard, or nobody else to run interference and save your ass. Now we can do ya how we gonna do ya. About time. Now we can go ahead and get it in. And get this problem dealt with and cleaned up once and for all. Y'all got to understand, this kind of talk right here, y'all cool with it here in America. You go to Africa, they shaking in their boots. What is this nigga talking about? What is this nigga speaking? What are you doing? Clean up what? Clean up what? What do you bring? Speaking Spanish? Bob and Glow? Broom and dustpan? What are you cleaning up? I'm scared. See, when the white supremacists practice racism and swinging on folks over here, they become a highlight reel. They show white folks and Asians swinging on them Africans, and they start singing hymns in their tribal language. Over here, when they try it, you become a highlight on Instagram. You become a GIF image on Twitter. When you try it over here with us, it's like, oh, you about to go viral. You about to go viral. Hold still. So just recognize this kind of talk is scary to them. It's not scary to you all. It's scary to them. They hear this kind of talk. What are you talking about? This would be difficult here. I cannot get jiggy with none of this. This is where they at. So please understand the difference in the perspective of this. Please understand that. These people here are talking up what they think gonna be they newest cash grab. And what they're doing is testing the waters to see how much domestic support they got in the United States. Because as I've always said, y'all ain't getting a damn thing if we don't back it.
And deal with it, nigga.
The bottom line is you can sit at the UN all you damn well want to. If you do not have foundational Black American support, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't got no muscle. You can't apply no pressure. While you all are still taking money from the United States and taking foreign aid from the United States, you ain't got no pressure to apply. They can cut you off at any damn time. And here's the other issue, and I'm going to get to this in just a few moments. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but the other issue is you're not cohesive enough to make nothing work any damn way. Y'all are too easily bought off. Most of your population can't wait to work against you. They can't wait to continue your long, proud tradition of siding with the white supremacists. They can't wait to side with them against you, your own people. You are a team divided against yourselves. It ain't going nowhere. You can talk all that bull crap all you want to. You ain't got no pull. You damn sure ain't got no muscle. Them people can ignore you with glee. And they will. They can gleefully ignore you. You ain't getting nothing done. Not at all. What you're really trying to do is hold out and say, oh, if these niggas over there, we can appeal to that. Y'all, they didn't get the memo. Pan-Africanism is dead. They didn't get the memo, y'all. They still watching Spike Lee movies from the 90s. Nobody told them, hey, dude, Pan-Africanism is dead. You ain't got no Pan-African community movement to go tap into. You got a few niggas sitting up here trying to panhandle a few dollars. You don't have a movement that you can hook up with no more. It's gone. That's dead. Y'all still running around with corduroy pants on, you so out of style looking for Pan-Africanism. That's dead. Garveyism. Anybody looking for that? You do not have any kinsmen pulling the Pan-African bandwagon for you. There's nobody to call. You can go call your damn academics, Michael Eric Dyson and Mark Lamont Hill. Them niggas gotta go work for the rappers now.
What? Damn!
That's where they're at. The Michael Eric Dysons and the Mark Lamont Hills, y'all, they are literally working for rappers now. They're literally getting a paycheck from the rappers. Dude, ain't no Pan-African movement for you to plug into. Ain't no Pan-African plug. Ain't none of it. No, I'm not even joking, y'all. I'm dead ass serious. Look it up for yourselves. Michael Eric Dyson and Mark Lamont Hill, both of them working for rappers now. Y'all know it. For the folks who know it, y'all already know about that. That's why I'm not even saying the names, Joe Budden. I'm not even going to say the names of everybody. But I'm just, if you don't believe me, go ahead and do it. Yeah, those are your academics that you were going to get booed up with. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they doing. They trying to find a rapper that they can peel off some paper from. Y'all too late from the damn party while y'all was bull jobbing for the last 50 damn years. You allowed Pan-Africanism to die on the vine. As usual, we still standing strong and we straight. Y'all sitting over there saying, oh hell, what the hell we gonna do? Because the Africans got us caught on one side, the Russians and the Asians on the damn other, and we can't really move like we want to move. Trying to get to that global market, man, they got the global market sewn up. You can sit on all the minerals you want to and whatnot. They're just sitting up here trying to figure out how to circumvent you. You can have all the cocoa you want to there. If you don't have a market to go to, it's going to hurt you much quicker than it's going to hurt them. Chocolate is a luxury in the West. Y'all need to sell that cocoa so you can go ahead and start getting some walnuts around here to eat. You need to sell that cocoa so y'all can get some rice to eat. Chocolate is a luxury in the West, and you are not the only game in town. So if anybody told you that you think you got leverage, we have cocoa. That's not the flex you think it is. I know you think it's a flex. That's not the flex you tell yourself it is. It's, really? Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Hey, nigga, don't you want that Kit Kat? Okay. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Slam this damn dough in your face. That's what I'll do for it. It's not the flex that you tell yourself that it is. I know. You need to believe it's got a whole bunch of value. It's not what you tell yourself it is. And the folk you sent over here, they all became coons. Your newer immigrants, most of them are feckless, shameless coons. They will be glad to work against you. Day in and day out, they will be thrilled to work against you. That's the issue there. They'll be thrilled to go ahead and work against you. They don't have to go with you on anything. And what's your ability to punish them? You made it in vogue. You made it in style to stab other folks in the back. You made that in style to do. See, when you should have been shutting that down, you were sitting up here telling yourself, oh, well, you know, that's the problem with you niggas. This is the problem with you niggas. You take things too seriously. It's all one big joke. Okay, well, guess what? It's a big ass joke then, is what it is. It's a big ass joke now. Why ain't you laughing? It ain't funny enough for you. It's a big ass joke now, ain't it? Now you want reparations. Worked against it and fought against it for decades. Now you want reparations. Wasn't nobody with us for reparations for the last 3 decades, 2 decades, 10 years. None of these folk were with us then. Now, all of a sudden, that Trump is in office and they getting cut off left and right. The USAID money dried up. The USAID money dried up. Now all of a sudden they looking to see is there another piggy bank they can go dipping their grubby hands in. But for the last 30 damn years, they wasn't linked up with none of us. Reparations was a one-man band right up until the last couple of years. Now these niggas figured out what reparations is and they're not fighting against it. Because up until now, they were fighting it. And everybody that they sent over here would be the first ones on Fox News or Newsmax fighting it. Now, all of a sudden, we love reparations, guys. Okay, that's not going to be the cakewalk you tell yourself it's going to be. That's not going to be the one, Jack. I know it sounds good on the face of it, but that ain't going to be the one. And this is a broadcast that's going to go around the world and they can be mad as they damn well want to be. No, we do not support this. Y'all on your own. Let me say this from the top. You're on your own. Do not expect any help or support from us whatsoever, and don't expect us to apply no pressure. We've been on our own for 300 years. You on your own now. And you gonna have to handle the Chinese and the Indians and the Russians and the French and the Belgians and the Europeans and the British and of course America and AFRICOM. You gonna have to just fight off all them dogs all on your own. But do not expect to come appealing to the diaspora for assistance. Ain't no coalition here. Ain't no coalition. Y'all done sent them damn Myron Gaineses over here and whatnot, and ain't nobody a coon in Africa. All that cooning y'all doing in Ghana and Ethiopia and Kenya and every damn where else, ain't no coons in Africa. Now you got your little penny in the ass slurs for us. Ain't no coons in Africa. You all are not ganging up on the coons over there. Anybody kissing white ass, y'all all get together and throw a party. Then you send them over here and what they run? They are hardworking. He work for the government. You niggas need to work. Okay, you know what? Well, then y'all can just go work this out. But don't come looking to us for any damn help on it. You got a big surprise coming. If you think we gonna hit the streets, you know, we need reparations in Africa. Okay, you're going to be waiting for a minute for that little protest movement to get kicked off. Maybe you can send some cocoa beans.
What? Damn!
Maybe you can do that. might disagree. Therefore, we're going to go ahead and pin the link to the Zoom here in the chat room for you all. We'll go ahead and pin the link to the Zoom in the chat room for you there. And if you are so inclined, you are certainly welcome to go ahead and give us a call on tonight's program. Please make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on Zoom. We're not going to put you there in front of the internet, but just to make sure we don't have any trolling issues. Now, by the way, people, I know y'all like Jason didn't come in hot like a flamethrower tonight. I'm not even done with him yet.
Nigga, what?
No. Y'all, I'm not even done yet. Please believe me. I'm not even done with him yet. I got more to show you in order to substantiate what I've been saying here tonight. We're going to get to that here in just a few moments. But before I do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out to the Code Leads. Apropos evening for that name, the Code Leads. The foundation has a specific reparations claim against the U.S. federal government. No tethers allowed. FBA only. All day, every day, my dude. Shout out to Woe Diggity, Cyberdyne 100, my man, Mr. Richburg. Thank you very much for your support tonight, brother. We appreciate that as well. Here to Brenda, Keenan, everyone here. Y'all see them. Andrew, thank you all very much for your support tonight. We appreciate that as well. Cameron, we're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break here tonight, folks. When we come back, I'm not done yet. I want to talk about this delineation thing in context of this reparations would-be movement out of Africa and what it is that they just don't get or understand about this, about why we moving differently today from here on in. Don't you miss it. We'll be right back with it. This is the Black Channel.
Be the teacher, knowledge on the block. Got the kids learning, minds open like a lock. Books and skills from the east to the west. Bringing education, yeah, we're simply the best. Classes on fire, brains burning with desire. Innovation driving like a tire through the mire. Math, science, history, we got the whole range. Kids hitting new heights, teachers making a change. Used to be the teacher, stacking up the grades. Future bright shining, no need for no shades. Got the youth thriving, moving up the ladder. Smart and sharp, brains growing fatter. Lessons so lit, yeah, they stay in a blaze. Every mind sharp like a sword in the haze. Mr. B in the house breaking knowledge chains. Education kingpin, we repping the gains. Used to be the teacher.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And folks, we are in the era of the paperwork check. Welcome to the paperwork check era. Whole bunch of folks are upset about this right here. Because see, this doesn't happen in Africa. They don't hold people accountable over there, which is why the damn scamming and grifting keep getting on with it. They don't hold folks accountable over there. So you see, we're in the paperwork check era now. Whole bunch of folks getting put on notice because it's a new day. They're not used to that accountability. And when it comes to being on Black empowerment, we running paperwork checks. And everybody who don't check out, when we roll up on you and we say paperwork check, nigga, if the paperwork come back dirty, folks getting called out. They go and understand the pressure is on. You don't have BET and the old dead black media to run interference for you anymore. So you see, the pressure is on. And there's a bunch of folks out there right now feeling the heat. There's a bunch of them feeling the heat. Case in point, just to remind you in the same vein here, in reference to what we're talking about tonight here, there's some folks understanding it's a new day. Oh, man. Well, what do you know? Oh, Chili from TLC, for those of you old enough to remember that. Oh, man, it's getting rough out there, because this is dated today.
Damn!
Oh, yeah, folks, this is not old news. Oh, guess what? She's in the news now. She's in the news. It just ain't good right now. From Essence Magazine, white-owned Essence Magazine is like, what you gonna do? As more black figures align with Trump, Chili from TLC is saying, I am not MAGA. Why is she copping please, y'all? What's going on? Let's read. After rumors swirled about who the TLC star aligns with politically, she cleared her name, allegedly. You better stop it. In this day and age, here's why that's so important to do. So they just from Essence editors, they don't even want to put their name on it. What did she do, y'all? She was doing a lot. Razonda Chili Thomas, by the way, as you all know, she is gloriously mixed.
Oh, please.
Oh, she will tell anybody who asks that she is mixed. I'm Bangladeshi and American, Native American and Asian. And, oh, she'll be quick to let you know that she is mixed. Quick to let you know. Well, she is speaking out to offer clarity after rumors surged that she may have financially contributed to Donald Trump's presidential campaigns. This revelation came after the star was said to have also reposted an altered, disrespectful image of former First Lady Michelle Obama earlier this month. So this first paragraph is very vague, y'all. It's very vague and misleading. So Essence, white-owned Essence, is still running interference. She posted a video to respond to the rumors that she said were, quote, very concerning to me. Now, first of all, let me go ahead and play that for you here. Well, this is from the video of it, but that's not what I wanted to do there. I wanted to play this, show this part right here. I want to be clear. I am not MAGA and do not support any of the many policies that are causing great harm to the American people. I made the mistake too many make. I did not read the fine print.
Oh, please.
I did not read the fine print. I thought I was supporting causes against human trafficking and for veterans. Two things I care deeply about is my dad is a veteran. Her dad. Go look him up. And everyone knows I love children. I have learned a valuable lesson and ask for grace as I navigate this.
Oh, please.
Y'all got to understand the reason why things are coming down heavy like an anvil on the Tether class is because this is the game they always play. These folks who watch Fox News, they're all these folks who always are watching Fox News and Newsmax and watching Tucker Carlson and talking about being conservatives and what's wrong with you niggas and wearing their hair like this. You know, you start seeing this kind of stuff and it's always the same damn story. But they also show you they're from a backstabbing cultural dynamic because as soon as the heat comes down, and when they're no longer on the winning side, they scurry like roaches. When they're no longer on the winning side, they scurry like roaches. Now, isn't this amazing? They'll be quick to tell you about that. Oh boy. Okay, for anybody in here who didn't already know what the deal was, there's a reason why you got to have it laid out like this, because they don't really know what's happening with it. Let me go ahead and, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and see if I can get this up for you all here, because I want y'all to see exactly what they said in her own diseased words here. I want y'all to see what she said. Because what she was talking about, I'm like, that wasn't no joke. That wasn't no damn joke what she was talking about. Well, Jason, what are you referring to? Let me show you. Angela Yee posted this, which lets y'all know she ain't even got the girl support. What did Angela say? In a video, Chili says that she accidentally shared a video conspiracy post about Michelle Obama being a man and quickly removed it once she realized what happened. So yeah, she went on the full Fox News MAGA thing there, and she went down that rabbit hole with Nick Fuentes and them, and that was accidental. Okay. Hearing your own words.
Guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama.
Okay, let's see if she says that it's false, people. The only thing that matters is, wait a minute, is this false? Did you not do this? That's the real question. Did you not do it? That's the only thing that matters, is whether or not you did it or not. Is she about to tell you I didn't do it, or is she going to tell you it's a misunderstanding?
And I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, hey guys, I wanted to.
So, Shaw, she's in 2026, she's telling you that she didn't know. And, oh yeah, she's not computer savvy. Folks, she's 55! What? Damn! Auntie, chill! People, she's 55! This heifer older than me. She's 55. In case you didn't know. And she's claiming she's technologically illiterate. How dumb you gotta be to go for this one here? How dumb you gotta be to go for that? 55 years old talking about, oh, you know, I don't know about this internet thing. I don't know how to do this. Yeah, how do you work TikTok? I don't know. Who posts? What is that? Oh, I didn't know I was resharing this. You know, it's just I'm just a old lady. I don't really know what to do. Yeah, you see, in the paperwork check era, it's going down heavy. It's coming down super heavy in the paperwork check era. But you see, I got to go a little bit further with it here. If you all will bear with me, I got to go a little bit further because you see, when I start seeing things like this, I don't want anybody saying that we putting something on folks ain't supposed to be there, because we're not going to play that game where you say we're putting something on you that's not supposed to be there or whatnot, because it's like, no, we straight shooters over here. We straight shooters over here. So what's happening is that folks are thinking that they were going to get off with a pass is what they thought was going to occur. They thought it was going to be that. That's what they thought it was going to be. See, this is what she's scared of right here, what you all see on your screen right there. And by the way, Angela Yee, once again, that's what was on her Instagram. You see this in blue over here, where she's saying, I want to be clear that I'm not MAGA. Well, Chile denies Trump's support after donation records report. What? Damn! Chile breaks her silence after receiving backlash over her alleged support for Donald Trump after FEC records tied to her name showed contributions totaling just under $900 in 2024. Typical Tether treachery.
And deal with it, nigga.
Now she wants to tell you that, I didn't know what was going on with it there. You see, it's just, I wish that I had known a little bit better what was happening. I didn't know it was going down like that.
Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama.
Oh, please.
So, yeah, y'all, in case you didn't know, both of these stories have come out now with in the same weekend. The paperwork check is brutal and real. So we finding out that she contributed to Trump. Then you're finding out that she's sharing memes calling Michelle Obama a man. And when folk called her out on it, she wanted to see how far it would go at 55 years old. So she putting that rinse in the hair to get them grays on out. But yeah, that's what she on. And by the way, Chile, it's reminding people of a few things about you, baby. When we say the paperwork check, we talking about present, future, and past. Damn! Why TLC's Chile wants women of color to be open to dating outside their race because God made all of us. Well, y'all, this was just 5-6 years ago, right after Trump's first term in office. Yeah, baby, all of this is making sense. Especially with the men that she been with, by the way, with the men that she been with. Oh, yeah, all of it's making sense now. Baby, your paperwork is dirty all over the damn place. You ain't just got one little questionable piece of paperwork. Your paperwork is dirty across the board. 55 years old. Your paperwork is dirty across the board. I got too many folk in here ain't did the damn paperwork on this woman. Niggas don't know her lineage. They don't know her dating habits. They don't know none of this. That's y'all's homework for tonight. For those of you who don't know, I'm not pulling these articles up for no reason. I didn't guess my way through this. Oh, when you see this kind of talk right here, it's like, okay, you know where this is going. You know where this is going. Gonna be bad news on that. You know where this is going. Yeah, they know. She knows what's happening. I could have told you that back then. I could have told you back then. As soon as you saw this right here, I don't play with folk over nothing like that. I don't play with folk over nothing like that at all. Yeah, when she started talking like this 5-6 years ago, it's like, okay, y'all, here it goes. And she got the I want to be white girl look right here. It's just, I want to be an extra on Friends. Damn! Yeah, look for these females who look like they want to be an extra on Friends, or they wish they could be a cover girl on Vogue. That's what you're looking for. And we talking about, at the time, she was what, 49, 50? That means she's deep off up in it. She been dreaming. And then you surprised when you turn up and she's a Trump supporter and a Trump voter. And when she gets called on, I'm not MAGA. You not MAGA, but you papering them up. Oh, I thought I was supporting veterans. As if Donald Trump is the man for veterans. What about all the stuff he said about black folks? She's like, oh, I didn't hear none of that. What's she going to say? I didn't hear any of it? Hell no. She was sitting there next to Zaddy, all booed up. Him and her were watching Fox News and talking about, these niggas need to quit committing all these crimes. And she wanted to show Zaddy that she was all the way down. So she got on her cell phone and went to Trump's website and made a generous donation of $900. And she figured, what are the realistic chances that anybody would find her by her government name? Man, that's what she thought. What are the realistic chances that I'll be found by my government name? There's got to be millions of people who gave. And then she realized, I'll be damned, they found it. I'll be damned, they found it. Oh, these niggas is thorough. And so now she's telling you she wants to be clear. I'm not MAGA. I'm not MAGA. I just gave MAGA $900. I am not MAGA. I just gave MAGA $900. And that's where they're at with it. That's where they're at with it. Hell yeah, we delineating. Hell yeah, we distinguishing. Hell yeah, we running paperwork. Hell yeah, we going back through the paperwork. Hell no, you can't walk the yard, Chili. You can't walk the yard. You got to PC up. Get back over there with Zaddy. You got to PC up. You can't walk the yard with us. You can't leave your cell. You can't come to the chow hall. You can't walk the yard. Get your ass back over there and get Fox News to go ahead and cope for you. You can't walk the yard, and it's too damn late to clean your paperwork up. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. You have a track record of this. This ain't no one-time thing. See, here's what I want to say to y'all right quick. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to Zoom. I know y'all been piling up over there. It's just like a fat burger commercial there. Patience, please. I know you're hungry.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Patience, please. I know you're hungry. Understand something. This is the issue that we keep running into. The issue that we keep running into is that folks want to be black when convenient. They want to be on code when convenient. But we started noticing that when we talk about the tether class, we noticed that, by the way, there's a disturbing, alarming number of folks from Caribbean descent and continental African descent that when they around us, it's rah-rah and black first and all this old talk. But when we check your social media, it's back the blue. And I'm a Afro-Latina. I'm a black Hispanic. I'm Dominican. And then notice, you're watching a whole lot of Fox News and Newsmax, and Charlie Kirk had some good points. Candace Owens has some good points. So I want y'all to understand that. We started noticing that y'all trying to pull a damn scam. When you're from the Caribbean, we notice that right there and Charlie Kirk go hand in hand. You from the Dominican Republic and Haiti and Puerto Rico and Costa Rica and Cuba, that and Fox News go hand in hand. I'm black Cuban. Then we notice that and Fox News going hand in hand on your timeline. Them niggas should have just complied with the police. Trayvon Martin was a thug. George Zimmerman's a hero. We just noticed that go hand in hand. We noticed that when we started checking folks' backgrounds and where they originated from lineage-wise, we started saying, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they might speak fluent English to us, but oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. And we just couldn't help but notice y'all flip real quick, when you're around us, you know not to talk a certain way. But we check what's going on when we're not around. It's like, I'll be damned, back the blue. And it's not from just one place. So on code is only coming from one place. Off code is pretty much everywhere else. So that was what we noticed. And so now we're just putting names to faces and paperwork to names. That's what we're doing now. So we're running through the paperwork. We're going over the paperwork. And the paperwork is coming back dirty as hell. From Ghana to TLC, it's coming back dirty as hell. Let's go ahead and jump over here on the Zoom. I had to get that in right quick, y'all. I think you all realized it was worth it. I wanted to make sure I dealt with all this here right quick. And yes, I was going to talk about Tiger Woods. We're just going to go ahead and skip over that and say, well, Tiger, you got to fight these charges here and whatnot. So, Tiger, tell us if you black this weekend.
What? Damn!
Because you look black and blue to me. Black, blue, and blitz. Tiger Woods is dating, what? One of Donald Trump's kids' exes or whoever the hell it is. One of them Trump gals, and he done flipped the damn Range Rover because he on Molly Percocet or whatever the hell he floating on. He was floating on them Molly Percocets or whatever, and done flipped the damn Range Rover, tried to run off on the plug and flip the Range Rover. So yeah, he told them he don't want to do no drug test, and they said, okay, get your ass down, get ready for this mugshot, y'all. I mean, he looked like Quasimodo in that mugshot. Oh, Tiger Woods mugshot. He can't even claim he ain't blitzed. I don't know what the hell his defense gonna be in front of the judge. With his eyes all bugged out and all crazy looking, I don't know what the hell he gonna tell the judge, y'all. I'm like, nigga, what you gonna say? You better save these people some damn time. Do you think the judge is gonna look at your face and be like, well, no, I mean, he could be sober. Man, look here. Oh, okay, you know what? Screw it. Let me go ahead and do it right quick. All right, y'all. For those of you who hadn't seen it, this is Tiger Woods on your screen right here. So if you didn't hear about it, Tiger Woods he clipped a car in front of him trying to pass on the 2-lane road down there in Jupiter, Florida. This nigga 55 years old. I mean, I say nigga blazing. Oh, they got him with the bad hairline and every damn thing. So it's just, they gave him the Mel Gibson treatment. I mean, the Nick Nolte treatment, not the Mel Gibson. They didn't even let him do his hair. They're like, hey, you got like 3 strands up here. It's about time to let it go. I mean, y'all take a look at him. I mean, nigga, you blitzed. I mean, it's like, you can see over here, it's like, I am so toe. This is the I am so toe look. He knows he's taking the mugshot. Don't try. He's telling himself the whole time, try not to look blitzed. Try not to look blitzed. Try to look alert. Yeah, but the eyes ain't working with you, Tiger. Your eyes ain't cooperating. I know you thinking, look alert. Nigga, you can't look alert when you floating on Percocet. You can't do it. It's hard, brother. It's hard. So yeah, he's trying to look alert and non-inebriated, but it's hard when you full of stuff, man. The adrenaline doesn't come down. It's like he can only stay up for a minute. So I am so toe. I am so toe down. Man, what happened to my truck? Nigga, it's upside down. It's going to Copart for auction. Okay. And take a look. The white folk are right here to put the boots to him. Brandel Chambly thinks it's time for Tiger Woods to put away his golf clubs for good. Damn! Do y'all know every time y'all turn around, the very folk that he keeps trying to sit up here and schmooze up to and snuggle up to are always saying his career is over? Remember a decade ago? 5 years ago, every time he turns around, they keep writing his eulogy and saying, it's time for you to go, all right? It's time for you to retire. You need to hang it up. He just had a 1-car accident. It's time for you to stop playing golf. What's this got to do with him playing golf? All right, Tiger, you know what this means. This means they're going to be trying to talk to your damn sponsors. He's floating on stuff. You really want him to have a sponsorship? So yeah, he had a car accident. He's still walking, and they jumped on it right then. It's time for you to put them golf clubs up. About time for you to retire, ain't it? About time for you to hang it up. Okay, because you know what they thinking. He was on the way to go get some more white women. A nigga driving that fast, he's high and driving that damn fast, he's on the way to a white woman's house. That's where he going in that big of a hurry, or at least they're fantasizing. The only reason he be driving that damn fast and that reckless, he on the way for a white woman. He ain't even gonna sober up. He's like, baby, I'm on my way. I'm on my way right now. If this damn truck don't get out from in front of me, I'm going right. If there's a damn truck with a pressure wire, I'm getting around this nigga. I got to get over the old girl places. Yeah, then he wiped out on the way over there. I know they was thinking he was in such a damn hurry he had an accident over there. That's what they're like, this nigga need to be stopped. He needs to be stopped. He's wilding out like a passport bro with no passport required. All right, let's go ahead and jump back over here on the Zoom. We're going to go ahead and get to it here. I got a bunch of folks in here on Zoom, so please don't give me the long version of anything. So let me start with Elijah, because you know he's going to say he's going to land the plane real quick, and it's going to be 3 hours. Where the hell you at, Elijah?
I'm right here, big brother.
All right, there you are.
Thanks for taking my call tonight. Excellent broadcast as usual. Brother, I got some questions I'm not going to be rambling on because this is real serious. Would I and other brothers and sisters be wrong that after seeing a stunt that the Ghanaians pulled about this reparations and everything like that, would I be wrong if we start to just every time they just open their mouths and speak, that's just gonna make our bloods boil and us just outright hate them? Because the reason I say that, big brother, now I'm connecting the dots, brother. Brother Minister Malcolm tried to go to the, they were one of the countries Brother Minister Malcolm tried to go to use them to get on their platform to speak about what you were talking about tonight with the crime against humanity. None of them nations gave Brother Minister Malcolm a platform, and then they circle back around 62 years later to talk about crime against humanity.
I mean, when we were stomping for, when Malcolm wanted to go to the UN, he didn't have a bunch of support. So when he was pressing this issue to go to the UN, then he wasn't getting no support like that. So it's the same old game it's always been. They are black when convenient. When they see an opportunity, they're opportunists is what they are. Yes, shameless, feckless opportunists. When we said what the code was, what the agenda was, and it took off around the world, they started saying, now, how can we use this for our own individual benefit? We know we'll side with the whites against you. And then we'll tell the white folk, hey, you know, you can let them FBAs go because we'll be your new black people. And that's the game that they were playing and the way it's always been. As far as hating them, brother, there ain't no hate involved right there. It's about loving us. It's not no hate involved. It's like if you got a little scamming ass cousin or something somewhere. It's like, okay, the first time that nigga steals $20 from you, it's like, okay, you ain't hating him. He's just not invited over no more.
Right.
It's just simple as that. You ain't got to hate him. He just cannot come around anymore. That's where we're going to be with it. So maybe he'll get off the pipe. Maybe he got the bull jive. I don't know. Will you change your mind? I don't know. Maybe. But the onus is going to be on him to change your mind. The onus is not going to be on you to change yours. It's going to be on him to change your mind. And I don't know what he has to do to make that happen. The bottom line is, at this point right now, they have had every opportunity. This is not a misunderstanding. We are not in the wrong, and this is not a misunderstanding, and we're just misconstruing what they've been doing. We know exactly what they've been doing. The difference now is we're just not playing along. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Ike up here on Zoom for us here. So Charles, Morpheus, Christopher, everybody else who's on here, just hang tight. We're going to get to y'all. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Ike up here. All right, Ike, what's on your mind?
Good evening, Jason. You're making an excellent broadcast tonight. But I wanted to touch on the UN situation. I find it funny that Israel and Argentina voted no. It's no surprise the U.S. voted no, but Israel's in the position they are in right now because the UN voted for them to not only create a nation, but get reparations for themselves because of what happened during the Holocaust. And then I find it also funny that Argentina a lot of the Nazis fled persecution because of what was going on. I think most of them found their way to Argentina. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, all over South America. South America was a hotbed for Nazis. It was a safe haven and a hotbed for them. So they had a lot of safe haven down there. And yes, after World War II, a number of them, the ones who didn't get caught, yeah, a lot of them made a beeline to South America.
So what's the significance of them voting no to something like this? Because you think with the history that they have that this would be something that they could start to maybe, I don't know if it's possible, but kind of like rebuild their image.
Okay, well, let's just take a look at a couple of things here. First of all, Israel is a client state of the United States. They do whatever America tells it to do. So if America wants backup, all they got to do is make a phone call, and Israel going to go along with what America says, period. So that's where they at. The other thing is that Israel is ideologically and racially aligned with that. That's the other thing that we need to understand. Israel is a white ethno-state. So we need to be very, very clear about that. Israel is a white ethno-state. That's why the big deal about the Ethiopians was so prescient. They are a white ethno-state. You've already seen the videos where they were talking about we over here in America, the blacks in America are the problem. So what's that telling you what it is? They're a white ethno-state, and they see anything that empowers us as being problematic because we have a tendency of being able to set global narrative. So those kind of things right there are problematic to them. The other thing is that we don't treat them with any preferential treatment. There's the other issue. So we are people of justice. We're not interested in your ideological tribalism from 2,000-3,000 years ago. We ain't giving you no credit for that. We are judging justice and injustice. If the Palestinians are just, we're going to call it. If they're unjust, we're going to call it. Just like it is, with no favor and no fear. And they're like, yeah, that's the problem, is that you count justice. Remember my documentary Race War, Richard Spencer told you he was not the least bit interested in justice. He was interested in power. He didn't give a damn about justice. Well, the state of Israel is on the same thing. They don't care about justice. They only care about power for themselves. And as far as they are concerned, since we have made it clear that we're justice-minded, that's a problem. You're a problem right there. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Charles up here on Zoom for us here right quick. All right, we got Charles here on Zoom. What's on your mind, brother?
Yes. I want to say what's up, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good evening. It's interesting that the cowards of these tethers come out. It's always interesting to see how they say one thing, but when you are pressed them, when you put them on, it's time for them to stand up, they always slink away. The culture of cowardice that's from these groups, because they never really had that type of, maybe once upon a time, maybe they did have some spine in them, but now what do they have? Their culture right now is just stabbing people in the back to get what they want.
Well, brother, I would submit to you that's not new. You say maybe at one point they had a spine. I would challenge you to tell me when that was. I would challenge anybody to tell me when that was. Please remember, it's been over a century. Listen to me. It's been more than a century since the advent of Marcus Garvey. I need you all to go back and check these dates, man. It's been more than a century. That's not new. It's been more than a century. Garvey didn't have no support then. So that the knifing in the back was well on the way and matured by the time Garvey came along.
Yeah, when he came back to Jamaica, you think he was going to start?
Okay, but slow down. Stop. Because here's the thing. Everybody talks about when he went back to Jamaica. Do you understand what that means? That means he had to leave in the first damn place. He didn't have no support to begin with. If Jamaica had his back at the beginning, he would have gone ahead and started from there. He had to leave because there was no support in Jamaica at the beginning. And when he went back, there wasn't any support when he got back. So please understand what it was. He didn't lose support when he got back. The support was never there when he started. Yeah. So that's why he had to come over here, because there wasn't any over here then. And that's why when he got sent back, he said, screw this, let me go to Britain or someplace, because it's not going to pop off over here.
Yeah. And again, what you said is true. They don't have a spine to actually, stand up and fight for these, and fight for what they have and build themselves up. And it's all projection every single time before the delation, the alienation, and all that type of stuff. It's black people can't do this. The black people don't have no culture in America. Black this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, what culture have they built there?
Well, I just want you all to understand that kind of talk is deliberate. And I've been saying this now for decades. They think they're going to talk it down. They think they're going to talk us into failure because they want us to fail. They need us to fail because with our success always comes accountability. And they've been running from accountability, so they are actively rooting against us, actively cheering against us. And when all that failed, then they actively work against us, because when we succeed, the very next thing that comes is accountability. And they have been working and fighting to avoid that the entire time. So no, they are actually adverse to our interests. Actively so, consciously so. This is no miscommunication. This isn't a mistake. It's not we're just misconstruing it. No, they are actively hostile to our interests. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. This is not a mistake or a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation. This is actively hostile to our interests. Because they know every time we are empowered, the next thing that comes is consequences. When Jay-Z was on Code, he had our support. He's on a damn public relations tour right now to try to rehabilitate his image with GQ magazine, specifically because everybody let him know, hey, dude, you folk ain't rocking with you anymore. We hold coons accountable, and these other folk don't. Ain't that right, Chili? Let me go ahead and see if we can get merged up here with Morpheus. All right, there you are. Morpheus, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's going on? Jason, great broadcast. I was wondering what was going on with these Africans always trying to say you're African, where I remember a couple of years ago before we started going more for tangibles that they would say we're not African. Why you call yourself African American? But as soon as we start going for tangibles and reparations, all of a sudden they want to push that we're African.
Well, I mean, you are Africans in the diaspora. You're diasporan. It's like, you know what? I don't do hyphens. I just drop the whole damn thing. I'm cool with you dropping the whole damn thing. I don't got to have any of it. I don't have to have none of it. Either you rock with me all the way or you rock with me not at all. That's where I'm at.
Exactly. And the reason why I bring that up is with the documentation that you show, which I read also too. If you look, it says that repair damages to Africans. Yeah, it kept saying that over and over and over again because that's their way of tethering on to what we got going on, and they want to be the arbiters of doling out the money, which we know they're not going to do that. They don't even do that for their own people. We know that with the USDA, when America was giving them money, and we could see it on the ground that they're not giving it to their people. They always had the backstabbing culture, like you said. That's always been the culture, even 500 years ago, because you look into it, they were selling their own people to come to into slavery. You know what I'm saying? And they still like that. Like we have people that go over to Ghana, because they're pro-black, and there's a lot of black women in Ghana. Unfortunately, I'm not going missing or unalive. That's the word I'm looking for, unalive, because they didn't want to give up their land. They're still doing that to this very day as we speak.
Yeah, what they're doing there is they spinning the block to see if there is still any Pan-African support of any significance. That's what they're doing right now. After all these decades of working against us and being divisive, because the only folks being divisive were them, after all these decades of that, what they're doing now is spinning the block to see if there's anybody who wants to do some Pan-Africanism still, because they think they see a little angle, a little scheme they can run to go ahead and see if they can run the jewels right quick. But they're not interested in unity. And by the way, if you take a look at that, nothing they were saying there was in unity. So even them referencing Trump and whatnot, y'all wasn't talking trash about him until he started putting tariffs on you and bringing you to the White House and talking about we're going to help the white folk take over. That now you got a problem with him. So let's keep that very, very clear, y'all. Remember, Trump got reelected in 2024 and brings them African leaders here talking about y'all ain't treating white folk right, so we about to put the boots to you. Okay, now you want to talk trash about him, but you've been mum's the word for the last damn decade. It's only now that once we said, you know what, we're going to let the dogs just chew on some of y'all for a minute. Now we need to work together. You know, Trump is against slavery. He is for slavery and he rewriting history books. I'm like, okay, well, that's strange. Y'all ain't said a damn word a decade ago. Where was this talk a decade ago, with the sole exception of Julius Malema, peace be upon him? With the sole exception of him, we didn't have no damn support. And we don't have it now, so they're running the same damn game. Thank you very much for giving us a call now. We appreciate that. They think they're going to spin the block, and I wonder if anybody remembers that we've been treacherous. Hell yeah, nigga, we remember. We sure do. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again here right quick. We got Christopher here on Zoom. Christopher, please make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on for us here. I can give you 5 seconds, and then we got to move on. All right, Christopher, make sure you have your camera and microphone. Okay, there you go. Christopher, what's up? Unmute yourself. Microphone, lower left corner of the screen. Microphone icon is in the lower left corner of your screen.
The left one.
There you go. All right, what's on your mind?
Yeah. My whole thing is, if FBA has delineated from Africa, why is FBA concerned with what's going on in Africa?
Because they're trying to grift off of us right here, sir. They were mentioning us specifically, sir. Did you not hear me read the article? I read the entire New York Times article. They specifically referenced and mentioned us. Did you miss that?
In a non-derogatory way.
Okay, sir, let me try this one more again. They referenced us. In their statement to the UN, they specifically invoked us. Why did they not leave us out of the discussion altogether?
Because they were talking about descendants of Africans. If FBA delineated...
Yes, sir. No, that's not what they did. No, sir. You either didn't listen or you're just disregarding it. They specifically mentioned Donald Trump's administration and how they're teaching slavery in the history books in America. They specifically said that. So either you're lying or you missed the program or you're just making this up as you go along. Did you not hear me when I read the article in specific? I read his words, President Mahema. I read his words referencing us here in America. Did you not hear that?
Well, I just said a couple words, sir. Seems like you're crashing out.
Sir, I'm asking you, did you not hear that they referenced us specifically? You said, well, it was in a non-derogatory way. No, they referenced us specifically, sir.
Well, they were talking about African Americans. FBA delineated from African Americans. From Africa. So you're not African, you're Indian, or you're Native American, Aboriginal to America. So you have nothing to do with Africa. So that's what I'm confused about.
Africa wants something to do with us, sir. They went to the UN and invoked us. We weren't talking about them. So why are they invoking? Second time, they're invoking. Why are they speaking on our name?
Well, here's the thing. You say you're Native American, you're Indian, Cherokee.
We never said that, sir. So you're making things,
I've
sir.
seen it all
You're
in the
making,
comments.
sir. You're making things.
comments.
You don't see anybody here claiming that, and you don't see anybody here repping that.
You're wrong. That's what FBA does.
Okay,
they claim Native American. That's what they do.
Okay, sir. If you lie again, I'm going to consider that trolling.
Well, I'm not. Well, let me answer my question.
Okay, sir. Sir, you said a bunch of lies so far, and you're having a conversation with yourself.
No.
If you lie again, I'm going to call it trolling. Okay.
I'm reading your comments, sir. I know what FBA says.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure.
All right.
But I wanted to ask. Okay, so you had the 5 civilized tribes that enslaved Black Americans. Where is the bill for them? Why hasn't FBA sued the 5 civilized tribes for enslaving them?
Okay, folks, just remember, when you start lying, I call that trolling. When you start trolling, that's a violation. So if folks want to make an argument, that's fine. You can't just make up a bunch of garbage and then start arguing against that. Nobody said these things.
They say it in your comments all the time, brother. I think you're the one that's lying.
Okay, sir, if you had that, then you'd be bringing up a specific thing. But the other thing,
well, I asked you about the Native Americans. Where's the bill for the Native Americans?
They've already got theirs, sir.
Well, no, why isn't FBA suing the Native Americans for their role in slavery?
Okay, tell me who's getting sued at all.
The 5 civilized tribes.
Okay, sir, show me anybody who's getting sued, sir. Anyone.
Well, no, I'm
okay, sir. I'm asking you. You said why aren't they getting sued? I'm saying who's getting sued. Show me anyone getting sued.
You had FBA individuals talking about suing specific
Sir,
African
for
nations.
the final time, Who is getting sued anywhere? You talking about the 5 civilized tribes? I'm telling you, why aren't the 5 civilized tribes getting sued? Why isn't anybody getting sued?
Look, sir, I think you kind of
no. You're trying to imply that the 5 civilized tribes are being given some sort of exemption, and I just debunked you in front of everyone. Nobody's getting sued. No one's getting sued at all.
Well, I'm talking about accountability for their role in the slave trade, whether they're sued or whether they have to pay reparations. Where is their accountability in the slave trade?
Okay, sir, their accountability is along with anybody else who was having slaves, sir. As I started off the program saying that, by the way, for the African countries, they get a bill too. Now, why is it that bothers you? Why are you an apologist for the 5 civilized tribes? Why does that bother you?
For anything.
No, I want an apologist, not apologize, you ignoramus.
No, hold on, sir. I live in America. You got the Native Americans who have gotten their reparations. They've gotten their payday. But yet you FBA claim to be Native American, but you don't have.
We've gotten our reparations. When do we get our reparations?
Hold on, sir.
What are you smoking?
I said the Native Americans got their reparations. I didn't say FBA got their reparations. I said Native Americans.
Native Americans did not get reparations, sir.
So
you're just ignorant. You're just ignorant and stupid of American history. Period. Native Americans did not get reparations, sir. They got reservations, not reparations. I know it rhymes.
They didn't get any reparations.
I know it rhymes, but that's not the same thing, sir. They got reservations, not reparations.
I don't believe that.
Sir, explain to me, why do you look like Shock G? Explain to me why that is.
Well, I think you can't answer my question.
This fellow looks like a cartoon character.
About my looks.
This guy looks like a cartoon character. Why? I'm just wondering what you smoked on before you called in, and where are your people from? Because where are your people from?
It's like you got kind of butthurt.
Sir,
you couldn't answer my
where
question,
are your people from?
My people from right here in America.
No, they're not, sir. Not with that.
Well, that's what y'all say when y'all butt hurt and you ain't got nothing to come back with. That's the same.
Okay, sir. So you don't want to claim where your people from? What kind of cowardice is this?
I told you my people were from America.
Nigga, dude. You are not one of us. What are you talking about?
I'm not FBA. I'm Black American.
Okay, okay. You are not one of us.
FBA are coons. I'm Black American, though.
No, I want to know what part of Costa Rica your people swam over from. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Now I'm Costa Rican.
You some off-brand thing there. You're not from the soil. You're not from the soil. That's for certain.
Sir, I've been tuned into this channel.
You are not from the soil. You don't look like Fat Joe. You look like Slim Joe.
This channel more than a decade.
No, you are not. No, you look like Drake's half brother is what you look like.
I'm not light skinned, so what are you talking
You look like Drake's half brother. You look like him.
I'm not even light skinned. What are you talking
Where your people from is the only pertinent question here.
And I just told you.
Because anybody who's got an issue with FBA, it's like, okay, which part of the coon window they coming in from?
Didn't Dr. James Smalls disassociate from y'all? And he's a Black American.
Right before they wanted to reassociate, sir. You got anything better than that?
No, 19 Keys. It's a whole lot of people disassociating with y'all because it's a lot of coonery.
They haven't disassociated from us. We've disassociated from them.
No.
They're going to be a one-man delineation. They're going to be a one-man delineation movement. Wow.
That's why you had to attack James Smalls, because he disassociated away from
Where are your people from?
And my
where in the Caribbean? Which white relative you got from the Caribbean?
Accent, sir?
Which white relative from the Caribbean? Which white part of the Caribbean? What part of New York are your folk from? This guy right here. This is either New York or Florida on my screen right now. This is New York or Florida on the screen.
You don't know your.
Y'all take a look at his hair texture. This is either New York or Florida on the screen. So y'all can take a look at that. This is either one or the other. Which one y'all think it is? Which one of y'all think it is? Yeah, that's not even the right kink to the hair. So which one y'all think that is, y'all? It's one or the other. All right. Folks, when you start trolling, just remember, nobody has to sit up here and hit the Jumbotron till they start trolling. We don't do that. We do not do that. But it's like, yeah, you want to know who's against us? That's right. I'm one of y'all. We from here. That was from here, y'all? You think that was from here? No. That's New York or Florida, what you just saw. I'll let you all have a toss-up which one you think it is. And that was New York or Florida. All right. Let's go ahead and check in with Daryl. Speaking of New York, I think it is. Let me go ahead and check in with Daryl here. Where you at, Daryl? There you go. All right, what's on your mind, brother?
Look, first off, thank you for having me on this evening, Jason. You know you got to get one all the time. You know that, right?
Yeah, brother. Look, when we start talking power dynamics for us here, brother, it's gonna upset them. They're going to show you why we delineated in the first place. That's what's gonna happen.
Goodness gracious, Jesus, and he can't answer none of your questions, man.
Oh, look, he's just mad because why are y'all getting together? His whole little rant he was on was he was upset about why do y'all have to get together? Why do you all have to delineate? Why are you trying to separate? Stay over here with me so I can parasite and leech off of you. Why do you need to go on your own? Stay over here so I can blood suck off of you.
Jason, this is just too much. It's just too much. But again, this is what you've been saying all along. And I'm watching the picture up here with the guy from Africa, from Ghana. That's exactly what they sit behind closed doors, do the same doggone thing. So it's nothing new. But at the same time, we've been pushing so hard, doing what we're doing. And yeah, they're scared of three things. We're gonna paper check you. We're gonna straighten it out. And then we're going to put people on notice. Pick real quick. That's why they don't want us over there. And when you open up and talk like this, it's upsetting. It's upsetting. They can't hang with that.
Here is the reason why African, quote, independence is a pipe dream. That's because right. You are up against European imperial powers.
Power. Thank you.
So it's you playing this game of we gonna build an economy and we gonna sell our cocoa beans and we're gonna not give minerals to Apple unless they pay us XYZ. Nigga, take a look at Venezuela. You don't open this damn door, we gonna blow this mug off. What we gonna do? Take a look at Iran. Look, we gangstering our way through this. You thought we was done gangstering y'all yet? Take a look at Cuba. We about to gangster you too. And Greenland, we gonna gangster you just for fun. So you can tell yourself this little crackhead pipe dream delusion hallucination that somehow you're gonna use sophisticated economics and that these Europeans are too civilized today. They're too civilized today to resort to barbarism and warfare to take other people's resources while you just saw them knock off 2 damn countries in 2 months. You just saw that happen. So no, if you don't have us over here to at least provide you political support to hands off Africa, it's gonna be hands on your ass.
Deal with it, nigga.
That's what it's gonna be. I'll let you have the last word.
Jason, you're so right about that. My goodness. And like you said, there's a couple of more getting ready to get that big foot stepped on them in a few minutes. So again, thank you very, very much for the broadcast. God bless you. You know, we stay 10 toes down, be one family. Peace.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. Yeah, y'all. And here's the other thing. Y'all do know that the U.S. military is still running around running missions. They've been running missions all over Africa. So while the world's eyes are on Iran, there's a bunch of dirty stuff happening undercover in these places, man. This is the time right now for them to be making moves, and they making moves while everybody's looking at Venezuela and Iran. They making moves over there now while folks are distracted. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again, see if we can get Superpower Media up here right quick. Let me see if I can get Superpower Media up here on Zoom right quick. Where you at, SPM? There you go. What's on your mind?
Yeah, Jason, this is just so disrespectful. I mean, and that guy, that's Busta Rhymes' cousin, man. I think he's from Jamaica, if you ask me. And they always worried about us. Everybody's worried about FBA and not their own business. And
because we are the business. Look here, let's not fake on this shine. We are the business. We're the only ones moving weight, bro. We're the only ones moving weight. Akon and Akon City. If black folk need to go to Africa, it's so big and free and beautiful. You can do anything you want to do in Africa. Yeah, you can do anything except build Akon City.
And deal with it.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, every time you turn around, there's some nigga coming over here trying to tell us about how great it is over there, and then it ain't nothing popping. We are the only place anything is popping. Period. If you're not rolling with us, you lame. Let's just call it for what it is. So, of course, we have to be the center of attention. We have to be the topic of discussion because ain't nobody moving no way, bruh. I have to remind you all again. Remember a few years ago, Ebro? Yeah, Ebro, I know you catching the beats from academics right now, but we got to remind folk. Brother, remember just a few years ago, they were talking about drill was going to take over and the foundational music and stuff. Y'all gone, you old hat. Drill going to take over. Then world music is going to take over. You know, world music is taking over. Watch, Ebro. I have to keep reminding y'all that Ebro said that. Ebro was, world music going to be the new way. World music going to take. How'd that work out? How'd drill work out? World music and all the rest of that stuff that they said was coming up. Remember, they had a few different genres over the last 7 years that they swore was going about to sweep things over, and the immigrants was going to be running it, and we was all going to be, Afro beats. We was all going to be singing African music. How'd that work out?
Yeah, that's crazy, Jason. And here's where the math is not adding up, Jason. And if anybody you can Google this, you can get on AI, ChatGPT, and look this up. These people got minerals the size of, they got gold and cocoa and you name it. And you mean to tell me y'all can't fix your infrastructure off of what gold is going for what, $3,500 an ounce right now, $4,500 an ounce? And you can't even use your own minerals to fix your country up?
No, the big fat nigga in the temple done took all the damn gold, and nobody wants to sit up here and gangster up on them. So that's what the hell's happening.
But these people, they don't have no fight in them. If you imagine if we had all those resources as foundational Black Americans, we'd be looking like we'd be way ahead in Dubai as foundational Black Americans. They don't have a fight. They don't have a backbone.
What they haven't figured out is that we elevated because we distinguished and delineated ourselves from the dominant society here to begin with. That was the first delineation that we ever did. We delineated ourselves from them. We distinguished ourselves from them. When they opened up integration, they're upset today because we still haven't glummed onto that. These other folk are looking at us like, damn, if the white folks had opened up integration to us, we'd be all over it. That's what they are resentful to us for. That as far as they're concerned, we have access and abilities that we're refusing to use that they would kill somebody in their sleep to get that kind of opportunity for. And what they refuse to accept, and that's the reason you can't rise. The fact that you are so desirous and so desperate to kiss their asses, that's the very reason that you can't get no higher than you are. So you can be sitting on all the gold on the planet. If all you're looking for is a white ass to kiss, then the gold is worthless. I'll let you have the last word.
And I was talking to someone today about this, Jason. You look at Black Wall Street. We just coming out of slavery, and we built the most advanced areas that you can imagine for, wealth, with no bank loans, with nobody giving us any type of money or backing. We just took it over and did what we needed to do to build what we needed to build. These people don't have that, Jason. And it's sad that they got to come over here and try to steal from us. And like another one, Congressional Black Caucus was in on that too, Jason. We got to do something about those Negroes. Because
here's the thing, at least among us, we call it out and we point out exactly what it is. Over there, they ain't calling out nothing. They're not calling out anything. They're not pointing out where the enemy within is. They're not talking about what the problem is. They're just trying to figure out somebody else to leech off of. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me see if I can get Huey Freeman up here on Zoom for me here right quick. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Huey Freeman up here on Zoom for us here right quick. There you go. Huey, what's on your mind?
Not much, Jason. Wonderful broadcast as always. And I'm glad that they finally said the quiet part out loud, Jason. Because they've been trying to do this whole Oh, we can't do reparations because, we don't got the funding. And they just flat out just say, hey, we didn't commit no crimes and now we don't feel like paying. And what I also noticed is that the people that voted against it was United States, Israel, the people that were fighting for
the usual suspects.
The usual suspects. But Russia and China and Iran, the one we're fighting against, they voted for it. You know how amazing that is? They want us to believe that they're the bad guys, but the enemy is within.
Yeah, remember, I talked to you all, man. I've talked to Jared Taylor, I talked to Richard Spencer, and when you talk to them, they really do tell themselves that black folk love white supremacy, that we like being the slaves. We're just a little resentful because there's a few things that we wish we had, but you're little children, you really can't handle it, so you're just resentful of something you can't have. But in reality, black folk really do like us running things. Jared Taylor told me this. For those of you also saw Race War, in reality, they really do want us running it. They just want to have a little bit of extra benefits, but they really do want us to run it and do the heavy lifting. That's literally what they told themselves. That you like this situation here. You're just a little bit greedy, but in reality, you really want us running it.
Yeah, definitely. That's how they really feel. And that's why when we listen to like Elizabeth Warren, when she says a check for what, that's how they all believe. That's what they really believe in. Because I think the person that made that statement on that UN page, that was a representative of the United States. So that's both Democrat and Republicans that made that statement together. So they know. So
well, I mean that was a representative chosen by Trump. But here's the thing: he is indicative of their position, no matter what. It doesn't matter whether it's Democrats or Republicans in the White House. None of them have ever gone to the UN and defended us on any point. None of them have been in favor of reparations. None of them have sat up here and done that. So it doesn't matter who's in the White House. Bill Clinton gave a half acknowledgement about slavery, but all of them have been very careful not to do anything that would promote or advance the cause of reparations. That's not accidental. So whether you get a Democrat or Republican, they're both twin wings on the bird of white supremacy. None of them have defended it or promoted it at the UN. All of them have either opposed it or simply said nothing at all. But what they have not done is actually stand up and defend it, no matter who you vote for. So I like this situation far better because you see, it's an easier fight and we don't have to make things up. All I got to do is quote them now. Now I can quote the words of what they're saying. So this brings it all out into the light. So you can't claim you ain't doing this anymore. So I want my white supremacists honest. I don't want them that Obama, Bill Clinton garbage. I want my white supremacists. I told y'all since I opened up this broadcast going on 2 decades ago, I like my white supremacists in the open. I like my white supremacy in the open. I want my racists honest. Stop telling them to lie. Stop trying to get them to knuckle under. Stop telling them to use code words. No, tell them come on out with it raw and uncut. So that when we drag it out like that, now everybody can smell the stench and everybody can smell the putrid scent of it. And now you can't pretend that he didn't say what you just heard. Well, slavery was legal at the time. So how can we be liable for it when it was legal at the time? I'm like, yes, say it like that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, say it just like that. Say, you can't hold us accountable because, we did it, but it was legal when we did it. So he's not saying it's wrong. He's saying, it was legal when we did it. So he's defending it morally. It was legal when we did it. It was legal. There are a lot of things that previously were legal, and then once somebody lost a war or something, it was illegal, and then they had to pay reparations. Well, we should be exempt from that. Okay. We just want to get you on the record to show people how nefarious and evil and wicked you actually are. This makes our job a lot easier. We don't have to have straw men. We can just quote you. Okay, we got Roland here on Zoom. What's on your mind, Roland?
Hey, good afternoon, man. You got me cracking up about this Chile stuff. So I did some digging, right? Yo, I don't know what Trump is doing, but he got a whole Caribbean chick squad over there. He got Nicki Minaj, Foxy Brown. Candace Owens. You might as well tack on Chili too. So I don't know if they're the Trump angels or what, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
There's
all
a bag.
Four of these women,
There's a bag.
It's a bag, but all four of these women signed on to that for that political agenda, but they have never said a word about lineage-based reparations for Black Americans.
They haven't said anything about lineage-based reparations. They haven't talked against white supremacy. They haven't talked about police brutality. They ain't said nothing about that. I'm just letting y'all know, look, it's a bag for them, okay? If Nicki Minaj turns up at Turning Point, I'm telling y'all, it's a bag, dude. It's a bag. Unlike the political campaigns, they don't really have to even say anything, to be totally honest. I mean, they can maneuver in such a way that they don't even have to say nothing. She is not showing up for them for free. She's not showing up for them for free, so quiet is kept. They're letting them know something. Here's the other thing, however, with a lot of the rest of these folks, they got family members they want stuff for. They got family members they want stuff for. And the other thing is they're already spoken for. These people, they're already spoken for in the media. They're handlers at these record companies. Remember Chili and them are famous for being in debt. They're famous for being in debt. They're famous for never having made no money in the music business. They're famous for being behind when it comes to the paper. We know them more for what they didn't get paid than we do their songs now. For those of us who are older, we remember their actual music. But the younger folk, all they remember is hearing about, ain't these old niggas talking about they never got paid? You know, that's where they at. So I'm like, if you want to find the compromised person, when you take a look right below the surface, hey, I see compromised people. Foxy Brown. Hey, bro, come on now. Y'all, you can get mad at me if you want to, but let me just put it on the bricks right quick. Ain't Foxy Brown got a couple of issues? I'm talking about health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't she like something with her hearing, I think it was? I want to say that. Yeah. She said she had problems with her hearing. Okay. Yeah. We all know she done lost her in with Jay-Z. Jay don't really rock with you, baby, for the last 20 years. Now, whether you two used to be together or not, I know you ain't now. And Jay ain't really doing you no favors because Jay is like Diddy. Pause. I mean, what I'm saying is that Jay got rich and ain't nobody else get it. Jay got the paper and everybody else around him is struggling. At least with Diddy, you knew they got messed over. With Jay-Z, he got the paper and all the rest of them is on red beans and rice. They're on pork and beans. So Foxy Brown, she another one. Baby, the paper ain't coming like that. The paper for her is not coming like that. So I'm letting you know, hey, compromised people. Well, Jason, what about Nicki Minaj? She's married to her compromise. What? She's married to her compromise. One investigation, this go left.
But her citizenship is also in jeopardy too. She is not, from what has been reported by various different media sources, that she doesn't have a true American citizenship, and she was trying to get that golden ticket like Willy Wonka, and that went south.
Now, are we talking about Nicki?
Nicki Minaj, yes.
I would have to confirm that. I've always wondered about how that worked, to be totally honest, because I'm not sure where she was born. I'm not sure if she was born here or she was born over there.
She was born over there.
Okay.
Came over here around like 5 or so years old.
Yeah, I know she was real young. I know she's been here since she was real young, but I wasn't aware where she was actually born at. I will say one thing though. Even if she's just totally off limits, even if she is totally okay, she's married to her compromise. She's married to that. See, here's the way the Trump administration works. The way the Trump administration works is they don't want to fool with nobody who ain't dirty. I mean, that's what they learned from Jeffrey Epstein. They want somebody who's dirty and compromised so that when you latch your wagon to them, you can't turn on them. So come on over here, Tulsi Gabbard. Come on over here, RFK. Come on over here, Marco Rubio. Y'all all, I'm not going out there today to tell the world we gon' gangster Venezuela. Marco, you going. Hey, Pete Hegseth, I'm not going to say nothing. You going to go out there and be the cheerleader for that. Notice whenever he makes these big moves, it's not him who announces it. He sends his henchmen out there to go do it. Hey, Tulsi Gabbard, they asking questions about Iran right now. Did you know anything? I mean, well, the president always knows more than me. Oh, really? I thought you were director of national intelligence. Now, all of a sudden, you don't know nothing. She's not speaking against it either. So that's how he does. He brings you in and compromises you from the beginning so that you will never in the future be able to speak against him. That's what he does. So then what ends up happening is that when drink from the cup and get booed up with them, you think we buddy and pal, and it's like, no, they can drop you at any time. Nicki Minaj is not a peer with Erica Kirk in Turning Point. Baby, you are not peers with them. They got a phone call to the White House. They can call Donald Trump right now and get you tied up in anything or whatever. They can call Ticketmaster right now and get you hemmed up and whatever. Brother, it's like that. They can make a phone call to Ticketmaster, because remember, Trump just let them off the damn hook. So they can make a phone call, and next thing you know, you can't move no weight at all. So they've got you where they want you.
Mm-hmm. And I got a little quick rundown. Also, you saw Dr. Umar. He pulled up at the UN or something, I heard, when they talk about this. This man was one of the people that was totally against lineage-based reparations for Negroes and Black American folks. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You got Narkin and Cobra that's out there pushing this goofy stuff. You got this whole Afro-descendant thing. I have a problem with this Afro-descendant thing that they're... And it's not the fact that I'm denying my African history or anything like that. I don't like how they're using it to grift off of our reparations here in the United States.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the only lane that's open right now, brother. Right now, in their minds, because I'm saying it's like they're wearing corduroy pants and bell bottoms. They're remembering back when that was hot. Now that they see that that's been left alone, they feel like, oh, well, I'll be damned. The lane is wide open now. I'm like, yeah, but it's a lane, it's a street going to nowhere. That's the problem. So yeah, you got the street all to yourself now, but the street is going nowhere. So they think they've made a coup, and they're like, damn, finally the lane is clear and we got it all to ourselves, and I will now anoint myself the prince of Pan-Africanism. And I'm just like, but the street is dead-ended. It's a dead end. So yeah, you got it all to yourself. Good luck with that, because there's nobody else on the block. The block has been abandoned. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. I mean, the block has been abandoned. So some folks are like, hey, we got free reign. You're right, you do. The rest of us, we left the block. We done moved. Or should I say the block moved away from us. All right, let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom. We got OGK here on Zoom. What's on your mind, OGK?
What's going on? Hey, what's going on, Jason? I got two things I'm going to say. As far as the situation with Chile, let me say I'm not surprised, because I don't think people remember. Chile wasn't, I think, original member of the group. Chile came later on TLC because the original third member dropped out the group, and the record labels brought Chile on. So she's technically, you might as well go ahead and say she's basically darn an industry plant. So it's not surprising that she's taking this route, because she came from the industry, if not mistaken.
Well, brother, look, when you get signed to these deals, please understand, they don't just get you from nowhere. The biggest misconception in the world is that they just grabbed you from nowhere. Let me just take y'all on a brief trip down memory lane. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, the Supremes. I can go down the list. Nobody just got grabbed from nowhere. They were looking for a certain candidate, and the folks who got the contracts were the approved candidates. Case in point, the white girl Pink. They did the whole damn documentary on VH1 about that. L.A. Reid and Babyface, she was part of a trio. And they were like, the other two girls, yeah, we don't want them, but you can stay. And it sounds great until you realize her real story, which was, wait a minute, Pink was running around with a bunch of black DJs before she got signed. So that one of those documentaries made it really skewed. It sounds like y'all just picked her up at a party. That's not what happened. She was already out there. Her name was already out there. She was already moving with folks. And I'm thinking she was, doing what she do with them. She was a grown woman. Do what you do. But I'm just like, okay, but you working your way through. Okay, you working your way through for studio time. No hate. But I'm just saying, you're a known quantity among the dudes at the lower level in the music scene. So it's only going to be a matter of time, if you stay plugged in, when you're going to get picked up. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. Same thing with Cardi B. Same thing with Rihanna. Where did they find her? Oh, and where is she from? And do you get my point now? So there are specific candidates who fit a specific profile. And those are the ones they're looking for. And that's why you see so many of them disproportionately getting those deals, because they're looking for a specific candidate with a specific profile. And they're like, because they have a specific system that works a certain way. And we just look for a new person to feed into that system. And then we just rinse and repeat the process. The promotion, the videos, what your image gonna be, rinse and repeat. In reality, when you think about it, it's the same thing. From Rihanna to Nicki Minaj to Cardi B, whatever it is, all these sex kittens, it's the same thing. It's really rinse and repeat. Hell, the music even all sounds the same.
I wanna say something, and you know, I'm just gonna get real to it. Every day I'm looking up, and it seems like everything connected to anything Pan-African is becoming more and more of an enemy. I want to touch on, and I'm just going to say this quickly because they're really not important to us, but I'm going to say it. 19 Keys and Professor James Smalls. The reason why we as FBAs are not rocking with y'all because of the duplicitous, the two-facedness. Y'all knew Tariq Nasheed for a very long while. Y'all know that man's character. I didn't know about any of y'all two until Tariq put y'all on and helped you get to where he was supposed, because he thought y'all were thoroughbred brothers. For y'all to do what y'all did to that man, do a whole 180 on him, and act the way y'all acting, this is why we as FBAs are not messing with y'all. We're not. How can we trust y'all when when y'all show this type of situation to him? Y'all gonna do it to us too. All because you go down to Africa, you go down to Uganda or whatever, Mr. 19 Keys, and they treat you like a king, and now all of a sudden, Tariq's a leader. It's a CIA op. Excuse me, sir?
Yeah, I mean, look, like I say, I mean, I've addressed these kind of things here before, and I've just told y'all, I've been saying this ever since I started doing my documentaries, even before that. Everybody who came into 2020 with us is not going to go into 21 with us. And everybody who made it into 2021 with us ain't going to necessarily make it into 2022 with us. This is the natural order of things. So I've tried to prepare you all for years that, hey, this is the way it's always been. Folks false flagging, folk being chameleons, folk being undercover agents, people smiling in your face and trying to undermine from the inside. But time reveals everything, brother. So everything's not going to be instantaneous. Some people are going to be low-level agents. Others are going to be deep cover agents. We have to just remember that both of those exist, and we must always be on guard for it. And we can't sit here and, be shocked for it. This is the natural order of things. This is the way it's always been, folks, from the Panthers to the Nation of Islam to the Southern Poverty Law Center, whatever you want to name. It's you got agents all over the place. So this is the way it always has been. There's going to be a bunch of folk walking with you. Some of them may have been there for years. You cannot deceive yourself into thinking that just because you've seen somebody for years that they solid. Or even if they started solid, you cannot assume they ain't going to go bad for whatever reason. So it's our turn to be the adults in the room. Not the leaders. It's just our turn to be the adults in the room. And this is a part of being the adults, is knowing that this is the way folks get down. Thank you very much for this call today. I mean, it just is what it is. This has been going on forever. It's been happening before us. Everything that has happened before is going to happen again. All of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again. It's just our turn to experience it. That's all. That's all. And by the way, we good for it. We good. We built for this, man. We're built for this. We built to check niggas off. We built to check paperwork. As a matter of fact, I think our generation is more built for it and more stout for it than any generation before us. We more on code than anybody before us. We 10 toes down more than anybody before us. We are more shameless and we are more fearless about this than anybody else, y'all. So yeah, it needs to be on our shoulders because we built to carry it. I'm not upset or resentful at all. I ain't upset. I'm not resentful. I ain't hurt. We built to carry this. It is an honor for us to thin the herd. It is our honor to be given the headman's axe to thin the herd. Just understand that. Don't ever be upset about that. It is your honor to thin the herd for the people. Let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. We got Malcolm here on Zoom. All right, Malcolm, what's on your mind?
Long time no hear. My whole thing when it came to the Ghana representing us, my question is not who's backing it, but who petitioned them. You have all these Pan-Africanists that are in Ghana or Kenya or whatnot. Who petitioned Ghana to do this? This is right up there with how the AU, the African Union, wanted to make America its sixth region. Who petitioned them to do this? I know there was a lady on YouTube, God bless, I forgot her name, but she found out there was a Ghanaian American who set up this situation where they can be claimed by the African Union, which then trickles down to how Essence Festival wants to be moved. The people who run Essence wants to move it to Africa and everything. And like, who's behind this? And I'm not saying this is like we should go look for it. I'm just saying, what Black American backed this? What Pan-Africanist backed this? I know that there's a picture going around with I'm not sure if it's the Ghanaian president with L. Sharpton taking a picture and whatnot, but there was no actual backing from the NAACP. There's no actual backing from Cobra. There's no actual backing from NARC. These Black institutions that have always been representing Black people. Like, basically, I'm saying, who asked for this? I can understand Ghana saying, hey, we want our stuff back from the European Union. I can understand that, and them having the backing of the AU doing that, which would make more sense. But what Black American group actually asked for this? Where's the group of Pan-Africanists in Africa petitioning Ghana to represent them in the AU? And what we're seeing is that they did this on their own. Everything they're doing is on their own. And those who claim to be Pan-Africanists or still claim to be African-American are saying this is a good thing. It's just like how they're calling us short-sighted. They're not really paying attention. Yes, we're finally getting recognition in the United Nations. But
I don't know about us getting recognition. I mean, certainly, look, these are nation states, and this is the point we made the whole damn time for the 20th century. We in America here were a minority within a white nation. We've been trying to kick these African nations in the ass now for the last century to say, hey, you are actually nation states. If you would stop kissing white ass and start standing up, we would have a nation state that could go ahead and back the damn cause, because you can bring direct actions in the UN that we can't. They spend all this damn time telling us, you niggas need to go sit down. These white folks done passed us a bag. So that's what we've been dealing with the whole damn time. The only reason that they found religion now, as I said, is because Trump done dragged into the White House and said, we're going to cut you off if you don't start giving white folk preferential treatment over there. Now they think they're going to do some slick legal maneuvering to get the dogs off of them. And that's why I said, hey, brother, take a look at Venezuela and Iran. They ain't playing the damn legal game. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. And by the way, about the Essence Festival, that's another thing. It's a bunch of bull jive here, y'all. The Essence Festival, I mean, we already covered that last year. But in case you all didn't know, the Essence Festival, take a look on your screens right here. Oh, that's a done deal, my nigga. What? Damn! The Essence Festival still owes money to the state of Louisiana. In case y'all didn't know, so they're still trying to figure out how they're going to pay their bills. From the last one, Essence Fest organizers under fire over unpaid $456,000 from the 2025 event. Essence Festival is facing renewed scrutiny after financial records revealed a substantial unpaid balance tied to its 2025 event in New Orleans, raising questions as organizers prepare for the festival's next edition. Nigga, you ain't paid for the last one. According to information released to NOLA.com through a public records request, the Ernest N. Morial Convention Center, where they hold the Essence Festival, reported that Sundial Media Group, the New York-based hotbed, roach-infested hotbed of tethers, based company that owns Essence, had an outstanding balance of $456,000 related to last year's event. Now, we'll see if they ever get this damn me straightened out. But you want to know about the Essence Festival and what's going on with that? More like what ain't going on. And then they talking about trying to get some money from the state of Louisiana. That's all that's going on there. That's theirs. So yes, in case y'all didn't know, in addition to that, they still want money from the state of Louisiana. Not a rich state, Louisiana. So yeah, Essence Fest, you can go ahead and stick a fork in that. It was already whack to begin with. They're going to be doing the damn parking lot here in a minute. That's where they're going to be at. All right, let me jump back over here on Zoom. Let me see if I can get Ariel up here on Zoom for me here right quick. Let me get Ariel up here on Zoom. All right, Ariel, unmute yourself.
Hi, Jason. I hope you're doing well this evening. So I just wanted to make a comment about Chile and then Tiger Woods if we have the time. But I don't have an issue with interracial couples per se, but Chile has been kind of acting brand new ever since she got with that white guy or whatever. And I don't know if you remember or if you even keep up with stuff like this, but there was a video that Chile posted on Instagram sometime back where she was dancing with her boyfriend and his brothers. And then this woman, a black woman, commented on Chile's video and said something like, Matthew knows how to dance ever since he got him some chocolate or something like that. And Chile replied to the comment saying, caramel, with a winky face emoji. So she's had some self-hate issues for some time. But with Tiger Woods, so he's now been involved in at least 4 alcohol-related incidents since 2009. I know he had an incident in 2009, 2017, 2021, and then, of course, this one a couple days ago. But mind you, this is the same guy that was, but sleeping with porn stars and cheating on his wife with escorts and stuff like that.
With everything. I understand something. Florida and the sports media have known about Tiger Woods now for 25 years. They all knew it. I'll never forget when the incident happened with Ellen Nordegren. Keith Olbermann had said, those of us in sports media have known about this for a while. We just didn't say anything. He said, well, we've known about this. This is while Keith was still on MSNBC. We know about this for a while. It's like Tiger, Mr. Blasian, Cablo Blasian did not understand. Dude, these folk got nothing but venom for you. Well, then why are they letting me run wild? Because they need to, because when you go down, they're going to drop all this stuff on you. When a guy at your height as big as you are, you can't take down somebody like you with one little allegation. You got to drop an avalanche on him. And you were there, man. That was damn near the end of him right there. I mean, he had a breakdown and everything else. He went into hiding for 3-4 years? So it was years before he tried to come back after that. So yeah, they dropped all that on you then. They knew what he was doing. They knew. I'm just telling you, the numbers you all have heard ain't nothing compared to what has actually occurred. This guy has been with dozens of females all over the place. And now, of course, you find out you're doing drugs too. So now you know how you're keeping all these white girls around. I mean, look, he got the money for it. Party over here. Here we go. Yeah, that's what's been going on. He's been living that life and everybody knows it. Now, he's down there in Jupiter, Florida. All right, anybody who's never been to South Florida, you hit Interstate 95, you keep on going. Before you get to Miami, about a couple of hours or so before you get to Miami, you're going to be in a little place called Jupiter, Florida. I say a little place. You get off the freeway. I mean, the streets are so damn clean you can eat off of them. It's a bunch of 2-lane streets. This is not a megalopolis. It's really a small place. It really is. But it's obviously money all over it. So it's a small place, but it's papered up. And it's money all over, and the streets are so clean you could eat off of them. Yeah, that's where Tiger, when he's not in the Orlando area, that's where Tiger is at, and that's where this happened. Everybody knows him. He's the most famous resident there, so he's the dude there. And it's like, bro, don't you know they all know your damn paperwork? And when this accident happened, the Jupiter police did not investigate it. They called the sheriffs to do it. By the way, they didn't investigate. They called in the sheriffs. They were there first on the scene. Yeah, go watch the press conference with the sheriff down there. The Jupiter police were the ones first on the scene, but then they handed the case over to the sheriff.
Oh my gosh. No, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, go watch the press conference. He'll tell the sheriff said that the Jupiter police were the first one on the scene, but he said they're a fine police department. They're perfectly qualified to investigate this, but we have more reps in for this kind of case. So they handed the case over to the sheriff's department. And they did exactly what they did. Next thing you know, he in handcuffs and getting mugshots. So it's not going to be the small town. I know what that's for. Say, hey, Tiger, when it gets done to you, we're not the ones who did it. Don't be hating on us and don't move, because he's got a mansion down there. He's got a big ass mansion. Well, don't be mad at us, because we're not the ones going to do you. The sheriff's the one going to do you. We're not the ones going to do it.
Ooh-wee. Well, your segment on him was so funny, but on a serious note, Tiger Woods is genuinely a horrible person. I've always thought he was a horrible person. He has no regard for anyone's life. And, he's not black. He told us not to call him black. He has an Asian mother, kind of like with OJ Simpson. I'm not black, I'm OJ. So they can have it. He can have it.
Oh, look, everybody plays this damn game till them folks turn them blue lights on behind you. Everybody plays it. And in this case here, it's his own damn fault. He's sitting up there and whatnot, and he's been playing this game. And obviously the people he's been hanging out with are no good for him. Obviously they're no good because nobody is stopping you. Nobody's pulling your coat. They just letting you keep doing this. This is like your third or fourth wreck. I'm like, dude, do you realize you got a death wish at this point? And the only good news is that when he switched over in that lane, there wasn't another car coming and he didn't head on them because he couldn't even get around. It was a truck with a pressure washer on it. He couldn't even get around that truck without hitting them. We're not talking about Interstate 95. This is in little old sleepy Jupiter, Florida. He couldn't get around them without having an accident. He very easily could have hit somebody else. Very easily. Did he even know what was going on at the time? That's what he's done with his wealth and affluence, and that's what the women around him have enabled him to do. This is the caliber of folk he got around him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, especially now that he's dating DJ T's ex-wife, I think, the one he has the 5 children by.
Look at that whole damn family. So I just found out that like Kimberly Guilfoyle was she married to Gavin Newsom or something like that? Now, all these chicks is getting swapped around and passed around. It's like, okay, this is giving Illuminati blood sacrifice, sexual ritual stuff here, man. You can't be with us till you sleep with my granddaughter, or something like, you can't be with us till you sleep with my wife. It's giving that, man, this wife swapping thing. Like you can't be in till I sleep with your wife and you sleep with mine. Can't we just have a handshake? Can't we just do that instead? We can't do that. I got to sleep with old gal. That's what I'm saying, y'all. You thought Epstein was it? No, we're just scratching the surface. It's all over the place. That's not normal, baby. You don't know any. You cannot name one family got this many people done slept with this many folk in the whole day. You can't name that in your personal life. You might have one little slutty cousin, but you ain't got a whole family. That's just, this is the get down. You don't have, and with Donald Trump and Melania, Lord knows what's happening on Epstein Island. Of course, we do know. I'm just saying, so do you realize everybody who comes in this circus, like, and Tiger Woods, how many women he done slept with? Donald Trump, how many he done slept with? Donald Trump's kids, the girls in the family. I was like, do y'all realize everybody is buck wild out here, man? So you and me will never be in them circles because we ain't freaky enough. The only person get in is Diddy. He's the only black person we know who can really get in this. So we don't want to get too close to him. We might get caught with something. So it all sounds like, quote, conspiracy theory till you start doing the math. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. And all of y'all got big, expensive houses in exclusive neighborhoods with gates and guards and compounds and off in places nobody knows about. Yeah, it's going down. This is the life.
Man, no, it's really, I mean, even like with Hunter Biden, I think that's like the crackhead son of Joe Biden. I think that's his name. He slept with his
a whole bunch of folks. With the brother and with I think there's a few porn stars for him or whatever. A bunch of crackheads, a few porn stars here. Hey, Charlie Sheen. This is everywhere, man. We are all just on the outside looking in. We don't know anything about this. I don't care how freaky you was in college. You ain't got nothing on these people. You have nothing on them. Nothing. It just goes to levels. It's just like, okay, it's not if they got STDs, it's how many. It's how many and what it's about. We can't roll with that. So yeah, that's the world that they're in, and no wonder. You're all compromised. Baby, he can't sleep with that many women and he ain't compromised. You can't sleep with that many women and there's not photographs, video, or whatever. You can't. His wife, whatever she saw was enough for her to literally chase him down the street with a golf club. That's a deadly weapon, by the way. Baby, if you're, I don't know if you're married or not, but if your husband or boyfriend were chasing you with a golf club, he would be arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Ellen wasn't. Think about that for a few moments, and that's his life. Right there. That's one incident among several now. What did she see on that phone that made her chase him off with her chasing him with a golf club? What did she see that she can't, by the way, that she has not talked about? Because everybody got to sign an NDA. Everybody's got an NDA. All the hoes you sleep with, okay. Oh, you the one night stand right after you sign this. I'm serious. That's the way that works. You and me can do this right after you sign this. What's this? A NDA. So you can ride the tiger train, but you can't talk about it. Everybody got to sign an NDA, and that includes Ellen. That's why I need y'all to understand. Diddy, Epstein, JFK, whoever it is, there's a reason that nobody does an interview later because they can't. They can't talk about it. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah can sleep with all the females she wants to. Nobody can talk. They all got to sign NDAs. Remember that white woman on her show? One of her producers wanted to write a tell-all book, and Oprah was like, oh, you got an NDA, remember? And sent her lawyers, you can't talk about anything. You have an NDA. Oprah did that decades ago, way before Diddy. Way before. Everybody act like he invented something. This has been around for decades, people. All these folk, and how many folk did Oprah sleep with? I mean, if you went with Roger Ebert, of all damn people. I mean, she couldn't even get a fly white dude. I mean, Roger Ebert. Think about that right there. Imagine having Roger Ebert on your sexual resume.
Oh, please.
Of all of them right there. It's like, well, was it that dry, Oprah? Was the drought that dry, Roger? That was, nobody answered the phone? Nobody. Roger was the only one who answered the phone? Just him. Oh, man. That's got to be a blow to you. All them damn gurus you got, that's what you got. All them damn gay folks you got around there. Roger Ebert's the only one that answered the damn phone. So, okay. And he's the only one they talk about. I guess he got around the NDA. But other than that, no, man, this is a way of life. It's a way of life, and Tiger is just caught up in it. But then again, the rest of these folk in show business and Chile and them, and if the paperwork ever drop, it'll be a laundry list of them. You know it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there reading it too. Tiger Woods will be there, and all the other elites and their elite ring of pedophiles. I'm disgusted with all of them, Mr. Black. I don't know what to do.
Well, just watch out now. If you see celebrities coming around, you have the golf damn tournament. Just keep your head on swivel. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Yeah, y'all. I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact, man. It's just a conspiracy fact. It is what it is. Down there in Florida, in Atlanta, D.C., Chicago, there's a freak off near you. Damn! If you are in a major American city, there is a freak off near you. They just caught Diddy and Epstein, but there's a freak off near you. All right, let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom again. We got MB up here on Zoom for us here. What's on your mind, brother?
Yay, Jason, man. This is you dropping napalms on kerosene tanks with this broadcast, man. Appreciate it. I don't even forgot what I was going to start with, man. And I can definitely vouch on, I guess, freak offs in major cities. I'm not even going to hint, but I do know of some politicians here in Philly that may have been involved in some things here. But regardless, one thing that kind of got me while we're kind of
no, brother. Let me just cut in right quick here. If you're in the city where they pushing the LGBT stuff, DC, Philadelphia, Atlanta, hell yeah, the Democrats and the political parties push compromised Negroes. I'm just letting y'all know right now. You can't get elected the mayor of Atlanta if you ain't been a freak off. What? I mean, that's just what it is. If you were the mayor in Atlanta, that's the get down. Male, female, or otherwise. They're not going to support you otherwise. You're not compromised. I'm just letting y'all know that is what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
And Atlanta niggas know. I'm not speaking out of turn. Atlanta niggas know. Y'all know about the city council and whatnot. Atlanta niggas know. I'm not talking out of turn. Atlanta knows that's what it is. I'm not misrepresenting Atlanta. Atlanta knows the Beltway. Y'all know that's what it is. Philadelphia knows that's what it is. Philadelphia knows what y'all got in office. Y'all know Philadelphia knows what. Chicago know what the hell it is. Chicago knows. I'm not dissing nobody sitting and talking. New Orleans know that. I'll tell you about New Orleans. New Orleans know that the damn mayor got caught. You know, she can't even keep it behind closed doors. She walking this nigga down the street. You know, I'm just saying, bro. That's in Louisiana. We just bold with it. She walked her nigga down the street. So yeah. No, man, everybody knows that's the get down.
It's facts. Those are facts. All I'm gonna say is those are facts. Yeah, but yeah, I guess while we kind of on the topic of non-FBAs trying to intercept our reparations, one thing I think was kind of interesting, it kind of sounded like it slipped under the radar. This Indian representative, I guess she's from Washington State, Pramila Jayapal, she had posted up yesterday a video on how I guess she was such a fighter for the immigrants that there should be some form of reparations for them. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is that coming from? And I'm like, all right, she got orders from, she got an okay from her DNC heads, like, oh yeah, it's fine that everyone else get theirs, but them Negroes. So yeah, sure, yeah, that's fine. And she posted it up and it's like kind of went on the radar. So I just kind of figured that was kind of worth bringing up since we're talking about niggas trying to grab what's ours and everything. And
well, we'll just send Vivek Ramaswamy and Kash Patel to go shout her down. We'll just go send them. So she started talking about reparations. We'll send them to go say we don't need no reparations. So Indians don't need no reparations. We'll send them two to go shout her down for that. And Nikki Haley. We'll send Nikki Haley for that one. So between the three of them, she ain't got a chance.
Hey, that'll work right there. Yeah, I'm gonna land my plane on there, big bro. Appreciate the broadcast, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for giving us a call here tonight. Yeah, y'all, we'll send Vivek Ramaswamy and Kash Patel and Nikki Haley to go shout her down. So Indians should get reparations. Send Vivek. No, none needed. You should be happy that they let us over here. You should be glad they let us over here. It's a privilege for you to get your ass whipped by the police. You should be happy to get discriminated over here. It's a whole lot worse back in Abu Dhabi and a whole lot worse back there. So, yeah. It's like that. Look, folks, for those of you who have lasted this long, rest in power, Black Voltron, and to so many of the others who started this journey with us. I need y'all to understand a few things here. That when we started this going on 2 decades ago, nobody was talking about this. No one was speaking about this then. Folks were telling us that y'all just some crazy niggas on the internet. Nobody cares about this. Luther Campbell down there in Florida. Nobody care about that. They just care about his freak offs and big booty parties, and then you find out, oh, he's caring about illegals. Okay. You want to talk about an issue nobody cares about? Here he comes from the illegals. Now nobody can deny what the issue is. You can't say it's a back burner issue. You can't say it's a fringe topic. You can't say it's not front line. You can't say it's not in the headlines. You cannot say it's not mainstream. You can say you don't like it, but you can't say you don't love it.
And deal with it, nigga.
This is where we at today. So if anyone questioned whether or not we have made progress over the last 10, 15 years, if anyone wondered or guessed whether or not what we did made a difference, if anyone ever had any question or any doubt about whether or not what we've been doing now, going on 2 decades, made any difference whatsoever, don't believe me. Believe our enemies. Take a look at the headlines. Take a look at the papers. Take a look at the UN. Take a look at other nations following our lead as they've always done. We're not following them. They're following us as they've always done and as it always will be. And we will continue to be the vanguard of Black excellence and the fight against global white supremacy and for justice, as we've always done. They can back our play or they can back the hell up, because ain't nothing gonna happen if we don't lead it. It ain't going nowhere. You can dream all you want to. You're not gonna make an inch of progress if we don't back your play. And we're not backing your play, we're the quarterback. You back ours. That's the way that goes. That was not a request, that was an order. That was not a request, that was an order. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight, folks. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to Karen. Thank you very much for your support tonight, sister. We appreciate that. To Suleiman, to Nia, thank you very much for your support here as well. I want to thank all of you there in the Super Chat. To Sandra. Old Sandra finally showed up. She ain't holding her grudge no more. I appreciate that. Thank you. Some of y'all there in the Super Chat, thank you very much for your support here as well. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend, holidays, some days in between. Click that subscribe button and that notification. Join us each and every time that we are here, as you heard tonight. If you want to be at the cutting edge of Black excellence and the insight and analysis you'll receive absolutely nowhere else, be here or be nowhere. If you haven't been to blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, as we referenced here earlier tonight. I want to thank all of you, all of my brothers and all of my sisters from around the world, for tuning in here tonight, live or recorded. Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and for sharing this. YouTube has us shadow banned, but that has never stopped us before and won't stop us now. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future and the future is uncompromising.